for a second while I run and grab myself a beer. So I do apologize, but chat away, be entertaining.
No, it's cool. I gotta grab coffee real quick before we start.
I am the least entertaining.
So I'm going through my notes,
guys can hear me
and
okay, right?
it doesn't actually make sense what happened.
What?
So we were going to get the kids,
Yes.
and I asked them to wait for us, and they apparently did.
Yes.
And they also got ambushed by goblins.
Okay.
We solved that. And then I have a tower appearing out of freaking nowhere and floating 1,000 feet above us.
With a staircase that dropped down to us, and then we said cliffhanger end time.
Okay, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that-
that totally happened. I watched the stream
We don't know
last
why
night.
it happened.
Yeah, just to me, that doesn't...
Godwald might have been dipping into the holy wine.
I don't
have
know
you ever
anything
seen
about
Howl's
this.
Moving Castle?
Godwald,
Need I
did you
say
get into
more?
my
But
bag?
that castle made sense. It had legs. This is...
Its leg is a cloud.
A very reasonable statement there.
This doesn't even happen in Discworld.
Godwald, I had some stuff in my bag. Did you
This
get
happens
into
in
that?
anime all the time.
Did
he get into that Solwick
Was that not your
poison?
component pouch?
Did you get into my soul walk?
I thought you ran out of that.
I have a shit ton of it.
He has a shit ton of it, and I have 3 vials of concentrated forms on Sparkle Gem.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Why?
I made it for her to dip her arrows into.
And will Sparkle Gem come back with just 2 vials and a story?
Probably. It is Sparkle Gem.
I was really hoping that you would shoot somebody with it because I was like, well, maybe it doesn't kill the enemy, but they're tripping balls now.
Well, Sparkle Gem's like all about her espionage, so she's more like sneaking in and slipping it to a government official, being like, haha, now you're gonna do stupid shit. I'm dipping. Have fun losing your career.
Oh,
No,
baby.
politicians who could do that.
All right, I'll be back for coffee.
At the start of that, or I would have been very concerned.
She waited until I sat down and said okay to get up and leave.
Yep.
I just want to make that note. In fact, I'm clicking the screen. The screen's off. Waste screen's off. Woo!
You mean we're
Hello,
waiting
Yeah, you can hear
Drink
me.
water.
for
Now,
CJ?
No.
No.
Although she did take her cigarette break already, so we got that going for us.
Which is nice.
So, welcome. Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good.
It's 2020.
I'm excited to jam pack another 4 hours of D&D into the past 2 days. We played for, I feel like, 5?
I feel like we were there for quite some time.
We were there for
but
like
I don't
6
know.
at least,
Yeah,
but
I
it
feel
took a
like-
while to get everything working.
And then D&D Beyond crapped out on us.
D&D Beyond was down for probably 4 of the 5 hours that we were
Yeah,
trying to play.
That was kind of rough. When combat started, I was like, oh, great. But yeah,
I mean, that fight was sweet though.
it was
What
fun.
fight?
It was my D&D that I
Oh,
was
okay.
DMing yesterday for the podcast. Yeah, he was a guest character. And we had a sweet fight.
Did everybody have a good New Year's? Good times? Do you have fun and party, or do you just like no?
I
nuts
puked
to
on
that?
someone's shoes.
There you go.
I had fun. I went to Gamut and we made them play Smash Mouth's All Star at midnight because the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Oh God.
And then, well, I mean,
New Year lasts more than 4 hours.
exactly. And then we went to Tavern, hung out with a bunch of people. It was fun.
Cool.
Hope everyone had a great time.
How about everybody else? Good times? Don't want to talk about it? You don't have to talk about it.
If you
I
keep
mean,
asking me,
I
I'll
did
just
the old
sigh
man
several more times.
We watched Steve Harvey's New Year's and then went to bed immediately
Yeah.
after. 12:02.
Well, yeah, we're at that age now where it's like, oh, 12:10 bedtime.
Says the girl who's up to like 7 a.m. every day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I like what can I
At
say?
Forge Tavern. Yes.
Why did I just hear a Final Fantasy noise?
I am playing Final Fantasy, but I'm about to get off of it. I was just trying to get to a town.
Okay, good.
You don't have to
You gotta
ask
find
him.
it.
You can just look in Discord and be like, "Ah, yes, playing Final Fantasy." That's
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well, I was
didn't
trying
even
to
see that. I just heard the like town load noise or a menu noise. I was like,
It
okay,
was a
someone's
menu
on it.
noise. I was trying to get to a town so I didn't have to wait 30 seconds to log out of the game.
That's fair.
So, Jerk would like me to tell Novak, if Novak wants to control Jerk, if any combat comes up. That was his.
All right.
That was his choice for the evening. And I suppose
Ooh.
with the
Tiefling
holiday
power.
with the holiday, yeah, right, Tiefling team. With the holiday news out of the way, we could jump back. We could jump right back in. If we want, does anyone want to try and do a recap from last week?
I mean, I can if no one else wants to do it.
I mean, Godwald just did a minute ago. But you were not
Yes.
here.
I
Wasn't here. We weren't streaming. So go for it. Do it again,
Awesome.
Godwald. You're practiced.
So we set out to the east from Pendleton to go get the kids because they were probably in danger. And I asked them to stop, and they did. And they were also definitely in danger, but we dealt with it. And there are now 6 more goblins bounties to be picked up when we get back to town.
Mhm.
And we have yet to successfully discourage them from this quest they've sent themselves on.
Right. One
We
of them
tried to
even,
tell
one of
them
them
not
even
to be
took an arrow.
badass. They proceeded to be
And
badass.
To the
then
knee.
my notes
Yeah.
get a little weird. It says like a giant tower appeared from 1,000 feet up and stairs came down to us. And yeah, that's all I have on that so far.
We also fought a hill giant.
Yeah, but it only took like 2 rounds.
2 rounds of the poor hill giant just annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of murder.
But yeah, no, we did. We ended the session. We ended the session last week with this tower coming over around over the horizon and is now directly above the party. So to the point where you could only see the bottom of a cloud, probably roughly about 1,000 feet up, and a spiral staircase of cloudy steps has descended, and I just scribbled on the encounter so you can see a gigantic, massively wide set of stairs curled on down from here, and then go straight on up, placing the tower directly above the corpse of the hill giant. It did, to I think Talison's chagrin, present you with a decision. I think the exact words were, "There's children here. What the? What are we gonna do
Yeah.
with these kids?" And did present you with a bit of a dilemma. You are on a mission to bring these kids back, and something incredible has happened in front of you. So I will take my leave of the time being from the moment.
Before
And-
that, before you walk away,
Oh yeah, sure,
I'd like to make a special action.
sure. What's up?
Okay, Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. Is there a history of towers appearing like this in this area? Or anywhere in the Sword Coast?
Towers appearing.
Like towers floating 1,000 feet in the sky?
All right. Towers floating 1,000 feet in the sky. So, if you do pull out the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide and ask the question, is there a history of towers appearing or floating in the sky? Go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage, because you're asking, I suppose, about in the Sword Coast.
Crit.
Yeah. So the book then flutters open, flips, pages go by, and it will right open to an entry where it elaborates on how in many years, even many years in the past, I suppose, of the time of the writing of the book, that wizards were known to have placed their uh, not only their personal towers, but even entire cities on floating sections of mountains or clouds in the sky. And it kind of just goes on to elaborate a bit about, you know, some of the very high level magic that is involved in getting uh, something like a ship or a vessel to fly in the air, how much more it takes for a building, and then even more incredibly, where wizards would shave the tops off of mountains, cutting a flat section off of the mountain and then flipping it inverted in order to provide a landscape for a city. So you can take what
Yeah,
you
I can
what you will from
I
that.
can picture that. Like I have seen very specific pictures of a thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oz. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but here you guys are. You're
So what I really learned from that is that it's powerful magic. That much I guessed. That it's not natural. That much I guessed. And that we have no idea what the intentions of such a person would be besides isolation, which I also guessed.
Listen, all we did was kill the beanstalk giant. Okay, we gotta go claim the home now.
Wait, what?
it does.
I got it.
It does mention that for things like when you start talking about putting cities up in the air, that that involves, because of your 20 roll for sure, but that would involve, for something that size and that massive, we're talking about 10th level magic in those situations. The lesser magics can float
I
vessels
can't do that.
and perhaps towers. But yeah, no, floaty, cloudy staircase sitting in front of you.
Well, what do
The
we
kids are
want
just
to do?
like, whoa, oh man, this is the coolest adventure ever, you guys. And that's Carp, the one who took the arrow. The other boys are kind of looking a little more wary at this point. They're not as excited as Carp is.
Could I talk to Kamala Anderson and be like, I need you to get these boys back to town safely?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have that? It's a class feature for you to speak with animals, but yeah, you're able to talk to the two horses and say, hey.
Like, I would want her to take him back. I would assume that she would know the way back to town, just based off of the fact that, like, that's where she's generally stabled and, you know, where we've kept her.
Well, you could tell her to come back from the way that she came, and
yeah. And then I would want to, boys, get on this cart. My camel here will lead you back to town. I'm sorry, I wanted to take you out to take down some of the moles, but we might have to do that another day, given the predicament of a giant tower showing up in the clouds.
It's just like, what? No, we gotta go with you guys. Like,
we of the Sparty Sparkle Motion are hereby claiming first rights over investigating this phenomenon in the area around Phandalin. You all are still technically on your quest to deal with the moles, and you're going back to town to get some medical care and maybe some actual training for the rest of your group. If you ask nicely, maybe Sildar will help you because you've clearly shown initiative.
As they start to...
But this might be out of your area, might be out of our area.
As they start to argue with you, Jerk walks up to the kids and he's like, all right, listen, I'll tell you guys what. He's like, and from what I could tell, and he kind of glances back at the rest of the party, and he's like, well, let me know what you guys think about this. But then he leans in and tells them anyways. And he's like, I'm going to give the most responsible one of you. And he looks at Carp, who took the arrow and is still excited about adventuring. He looks at little Pip, who kind of just followed along and did it anyways. And he looks at Chad, who's the one who killed the goblin, and also said that we probably should have gone home. He's like, I'm going to give you this magical item to protect yourselves, to get back to Phandalin, so where we can come back maybe, and we can worry about adventuring later. And he offers up the Staff of Protection from the Glass Staff, from Glass Staff. And he says, and he kind of explains, like, if Chad, if you hold on to this, you'll be able to cast magic that can protect the both of you boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, protect the three of you if anything were to happen. Something that lasts 8 hours. It's a few days travel back, but you can't come on this very dangerous adventure with us, and it's very dangerous even on the trail. This is to get you home and safe, and we can worry about training you guys to adventure later. Seeing the magical staff, the boys' eyes go wide. There are a bunch of gasps and awes.
Do these guys remember the glass staff incident?
They don't know where it came from, but they are. I mean, unless maybe you talked about the adventure.
This is the glass staff.
Well, I would imagine if anything, they would recognize it as Sparkle Gem's staff, that because like she had it in her possession at the time that they were rescued.
As the stories tell.
As the stories tell, yeah. And then, so they may recognize it, but what they are is knowing that this is a magical item and that they can cast spells with it, and this is something that's way out of their wheelhouse and range that they're kind of excited about. It's kind of like, yeah, I know you guys can't come to Cedar Point with us, but what if I gave you a PS4 to play with for the next week?
Yes.
And they seem kind of receptive to that. But Jerk does kind of look back to you guys and kind of shrug like, yeah?
I'm okay with it.
Works for me.
Now that
gonna
I've
be
heard
sending
this whole
Louis
plan,
with
yeah,
them.
I'm for that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, because I think he was ready to take it right back from him if you guys disagreed. So
No.
That tracks.
I'll tell them, get good with this, and you will have
Get good,
even
scrub.
more confidence next time you go out to an adventure.
seeing that you guys generally agree, Jerk's kind of like, he's like, I'm coming back for that. You need to protect that for me. It's valuable, and it's very it's very worthwhile. You got to make sure nobody gets it from you. Get back, get home, be safe. Give this to Sildar, or no, he would say Halia maybe. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he would say
He would say
Halia.
Halia. Halia.
Halia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He
give this to
trusts a lot and
Halia.
knows how to handle
I
these
could have
things.
Lewis bring it back. Give it to Lewis.
Have Lewis go with them.
Yeah. I don't think a giant bird is going to do too well in a tower.
Yeah.
I don't think how does a giant bird do with stairs?
I would say of the massive cloud stairs that you see, they are extremely wide, 40-foot wide, while only the steps themselves are only a few inches deep. It would seem plausible that you could ride your animals up here. Even there's more than enough space for the cart too, though. They might, have everybody have to get off of it so that they could drag the cart up.
Oh, so we could.
I don't like the idea of us taking the cart into this castle, though.
Yeah, but we can't
Sounds like
exactly
a
leave
hassle.
it here either.
Hassle Castle.
That's
Not
what's
to mention, we
called.
gotta make sure those kids get home.
Well, I have told the animals to take them back. I think that they would know the way.
Do you want to send the cart with them?
Yeah, we'll send the cart back to town. The animals know the way. I know Camilla knows.
And the thing is that Lewis understands common.
Oh yeah.
So-
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to reread the spell, but I guess he's got an intelligence of 6, and he understands a language that I speak, which common.
Right. Okay.
But he's a decent fighter. I mean, I wouldn't fuck with an ostrich. I'm pretty damn stupid.
yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. You could send them back with them. You guys could send the staff with them. You could take them with you. You could murder them in cold blood here. It's all up to you.
Just Chad.
Just Chad, just the responsible one.
He's a little asshole.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? What?
There's hate for this kid because of his name, I think.
Look,
Are you really gonna like attack him?
No.
No, don't attack him.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. I didn't even assume, like, in the slightest. You're like, you can certainly try. Like,
No, just I'm gonna have the animals. I'm gonna tell the animals to take them back to town, and they can take the cart with them, and then we can go back to town. I still need to go back to get my shield, anyways.
Well, if we take them back to town, there's a good chance this castle's gone. So if we want to
That's what I'm
explore this
saying.
castle, we gotta decide now.
That's what I'm saying. We go explore the castle. I've told the animals to take them back to town. They know the way back, so they can, and I can talk to animals. So I'm just like,
Okay.
hey, take them back to town.
So I guess the better question is, do we want the kids to take the cart and all the animals with them?
Yeah, they're all going back to town.
Okay.
Yeah, we can walk back. We're
Okay.
only like 2 days out.
so you guys. So
Ow.
besides
Stop.
the two animals that can be attached to the cart, to the covered wagon, I should say, you have
Two other
three
horses. At
three
least.
other mounts. 3 other mounts total.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess you guys can take your mounts if you want.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, do Novak and Azita want to send their horses back with the cart? Or do we want to keep our horses here?
You said it's possible if we're gonna go up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
I think we should take our horses. Just in
Okay.
case we have to run ahead for anything. Or behind.
I mean, that's fair too. And that way, in case there's trouble, we could always, like, dip the fuck out of Dodge faster than everybody else.
Yeah, run away.
Okay.
No
So-
offense.
So I hear you guys are gonna ride your horses up the stairs. And Pierre,
Yes.
are you sending Lewis with the kids to
I am.
basically be a cart escort?
Yep.
Okay. And
then if we
there's no
agree to bring-
range on him. He just exists until he doesn't.
So he actually doesn't have a range yet. I can communicate with him telepathically within a mile. But he doesn't have like a range. Like he doesn't cease to exist or anything if he goes outside of that. If he hits 0 HP, he ceases to exist. But
Okay.
let me check.
yeah, there's no maximum range from you. It's like how I could send Gabe if I had a Gabe.
You basically have summoned
Home
him,
and
he
back.
exists. Yes, thank you for that dance music number.
But it just randomly started on my crap. I don't know why.
All right. Well, I mean, so this one's up to you guys. You guys tell me when you've decided what you're doing.
I have
So-
decided.
I feel like I've
I've
heard most
decided.
of it at this point.
I agree.
Yeah,
The only thing I would posit is do we want the kids to maybe fortify here? But then again, never mind. That's a stupid thought.
We'll just
Kill giant goblins.
let them take the cart back.
Let them take the cart back.
It's like if we leave them here in this unsafe area, then Gabe died for nothing.
So it was something like 3 days after. So you're approaching the end of the month on the cool winter, and it had only been a few hours of travel on the 3rd day of travel. So it's, looking at like noonish time, I think. So yeah. All right. So then, if you guys send the kids off, they're kind of accepting of the magical item. The chance to get to use a magical item is more than they ever thought they were going to get on this adventure of their own. carp faced with his own mortality seems like a little still kind of gung ho for what a kid, someone should be at this point. But the other two seem kind of reasonably like, yeah, this was really dangerous, and we're ready to go home. I suppose, yeah. Unless there's anything else you want to give the kids, do you then head up the stairs?
I believe so. I'll lead the way.
I will follow behind
All right.
as the weird off tank.
As you go up to the first step, this just appears completely and exactly as a cloud does, light, wistful, moving even. But as you place your foot on the first step, it's solid, kind of like a wood floor with carpeting. Has that, there's a little feeling of give, but it's definitely solid enough to stand on. As you then continue on, making your way up the stairs, as the boy's cart heads off in the other direction, and you all can start climbing the stairs, and you get, let's say a couple 100 feet up. Roll me perception, person in the back of the line. So let's see, Pubert's up front, Talison's behind him. What's the rest of the marching order?
I'm usually in the back, and he's in the front.
I would say Zeta would probably be more towards the front, typically just being the big old burly tank she is.
And Novak would probably be closer to the back.
All right, so then we'll put Jerk in the middle. So I've got a Pubert, then Taliesin, Zeta, Jerk, Novak, and Godwald. I didn't miss anybody, right?
I don't believe so.
There is no Gabe.
Then Godwald and Novak, roll me perception rolls as you're climbing these stairs.
So 20.
20 and 17. You both seem to notice, because you're kind of looking around as you're traveling. I mean, like, there's not a lot of texture up here, but a couple 100 feet up, you start to see the as you guys are kind of like looking out over at things collectively. You see the tree canopy of the Neverwinter Wood to the north. You can see the hills rising up to the southeast. And you start seeing the horizon more and more expansive as you can see farther and farther along the horizon. But Novak and Godwald in the back see, after a couple 100 feet up, the stairs start disappearing. They just kind of just drift off as if they were suddenly actual clouds. And so your way back down is sort of retreating back behind you as you continue to climb up towards the tower, and you get farther and farther and closer towards the base of it. Sometimes within a few 100 feet, you can now see a part of the tower peeking up over the base of the clouds. And as the wind now, it's starting to get kind of chilly up here. It's a bit colder up where there's nothing to absorb the heat. A strong gust of wind comes along and starts to shove and push you all off on the side of the stairs. Roll me some quick strength checks. I want them from everybody. And Pierre, Taliesin, Azita, Jerk, Novak, Godwald.
Dang, I don't have my hide armor. I don't have any.
It's a strength check. The hide armor?
Yeah, the hide armor that you gave me after it got enchanted with the wild magic had a +1 to strength checks.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Damn it, seriously.
So I'm a pretty heavy guy considering all the armor I'm in. Can I assist anybody?
Yeah,
Me.
certainly. Anybody is near you in your marching order, so you could probably
So
help
just
Taliesin.
tough.
Yeah.
Give them advantage, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to help him out. You see the gusts. You see a gust of wind, like big, heavy gust of wind come up, and you all kind of brace against it. And as Taliesin starts rolling out, you're able to like reach a hand out, and he quickly just recognizes it and grabs you. As just for the briefest moment, Taliesin, your feet go and roll, like go up a little bit
I would
off the ground. You're like,
say,
whoa.
Ooh.
Then
Is
no.
I can't turn into a bird yet, so thank you.
Jerk seeing Novak seem to lift up and do the same. Oh, I gotta roll for Jerk. Let's see if Jerk does that. Never mind. He might. Yeah, okay.
oh my god.
So
Can
I hope
Azita
so.
just
Sure,
like
start-
grab Novak by the tail?
Oh, actually, you know what? Novak and Azita, you should both be rolling with advantage because you're riding a horse, and your horse is significantly larger and heavier. So give me an extra roll. 16 on the strength check for Azita.
Yeah, I
You're
rolled
able to,
16
you're able to
both
hold on to the
times,
horse.
so.
The horse is pretty heavy too. You do feel the gust of wind because you kind of make a big sail, but whoa, shit! And then Novak.
Be holding
Shoes.
on to.
So you guys see, like, as the rest of you all go, and everybody, like, a couple of you get like lifted up and just push and slide a little bit up towards the edge. It's not enough to like push you all the way off the side of the stairs, but it did move you with this gust of wind. So you suddenly realize you're a couple hundred feet up in the air and nothing's tying you down to anything.
Can I yell ahead of myself as Pubear has caught me? Be like, Pubear, put your shield up, and everyone get close to the inner wall.
I'll
Like try to use Pubear's shield as like a windbreak,
Okay.
and like the inner wall.
all right. I'll do that. I'll shield up. I'll try to angle it a little bit so it's not like flat against the wind. Because I'd like to have it be a windbreak, not a kite.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys, as you kind of keep persisting up, you're probably 300 feet ish up. When that happened, you realize you've still got a couple, about more than twice that distance you've covered already to move up as you kind of keep moving up towards it. Also, where the heck is my Wizard Tower audio along with my Winter Woods? Here we go. So as you guys approach, moving up the stairs, it's starting to get pretty windy up in this area, and another.
Wait, 1 second. Taliesin, do you still have those harnesses?
I think I let everyone keep theirs, but
Because what I'm thinking is if we get everybody in their harnesses, we could rope tie everyone together to allow the weight to stay down further.
Great. That means if one of us falls, we all fall.
Not necessarily, because you got a lot of really good strength characters that can haul your ass back up, along with the ass of a horse.
That means if two of us fall, we all fall.
Again, not necessarily true.
I thought you guys were all a
I
team. Come on.
feel like I did.
Yeah, you
pretty
gave
sure I
everybody the harnesses. So the people who were in Wave Echo Cave, you all have
Yeah.
a harness made out of rope. That is the thing. You're thinking, so you're kind of out of game, like reminding everybody that that's a thing.
Yeah,
they
that's a
have.
thing that we could do.
Everyone except Novak and Azita would have.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I feel like at this point, seeing like Novak struggling, Azita would take her own rope, tie it around her waist, and then tie the other end around Novak.
I
I'm
also
down.
have ropes, so I could join up to you guys.
I'd be down to, like, everyone grab those harnesses I made and like put them on, and then we can like tie off to each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the first gust of wind, and seeing how like heavy it is, even like maybe riding on the horse kind of created a sail in a certain place. Anyways, you guys figure out to take the rope and the harnesses and sort of tie it between the bridle of the horses, between each other, and use your rope up as long. As the next gust of wind comes along, go ahead and roll me strength checks again.
Ouch.
And everybody who is tied to the harness and everybody who's riding their mounts rolls with advantage. So I suppose that's all of you.
I got a 15.
Woo. I got a 23.
My first
Very bad.
roll was 21.
Okay. So I mean, you don't have to worry about it if you don't want to roll it with advantage. But
No, Novak, you got a nat 20.
No, I got
+1.
my strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying you got a natural 20 on your
Sometimes that
die.
matters.
Yeah.
Important to report it.
yeah, ability checks it's a little different. But from what I'm seeing here, between the rope tied and the weights, the advantage of having the harness, you all collectively are able to hold together in a much safer way than before. And this similar gust of wind doesn't have the same effect on you as you all then continue to ascend the next few 100 feet. You now reach up to the very top of the tower. The stairs have led directly to an open gate. Oh, and I suppose I need to bring a couple horses up here, don't I?
Don't forget about our horses.
Right? So I'm trying to remember.
Hey, if nothing else, we can use them for like bait or something.
Glad you care so much about your your mounts. Okay. I don't know where that green dot is, but it is on there. It's attached. All right. But yeah, you guys then ascend this staircase. As you approach the tower that you've seen now, with some difficulty to see from below. Now that you're up there and you actually see the thing itself. The tower's easily easily 200 feet tall itself. And on the top of the tower, you notice that what looked like the point of a roof, a rounded roof, is actually a gigantic hat in the shape of a wizard's hat. It's an odd collection of a thing to seem a building wearing a gigantic tower floating in the sky, now wearing a large hat in and of itself.
What? That sounds almost impossibly somehow. Where in my life could I have heard about something like that? Be honest. Anyway, go on.
Magic's weird, Godwald.
Magic is weird. But yeah, so you guys come. As you approach here, the ground here is the same. It's made of clouds, but it feels like a carpeted floor. Solid, but there's that little initial bit of squish to your steps as you're moving through.
Like we're walking on memory foam.
Yeah, a little bit. Like there's an inch of memory foam on top of the ground for some reason. But then if you are looking at the front door and you are seeing in through this area that you first approached, there is a bit of an enclave that opens up and a blue curtain that stands, and I think it's, oh my gosh, I think it's gigantic as well. It is easily a 40-foot tall entryway into here with a gigantic curtain, and the curtain's kind of billowing along in the wind.
Where do we knock?
There is no door. There is an open 40-foot tall open archway and a curtain inside, and then the building
Oh,
around.
yeah.
And you can't quite see around the building from where you are in your position.
Can I?
Cooper was asking in character, where do we knock?
Oh, sorry.
Well, I would like to. I would like to check it out and just make sure that like there's not. If I can discern if there's anything like crazy, like if there's going to be like a trap or something when we walk in, or if I don't think that it's going to be trapped, but I want to see if I can tell if there what kind of magical properties, if I should be wary at all.
I could tell you this right now. Azita is like overwhelmed with this feeling to go chase and play with the curtains.
All of the stairs have now disappeared behind you, and where you are all standing is on the edge of a cloud 1,000 feet up in the air. Jerk immediately moves forward and gets up closer.
Yeah,
to the
we
building.
are.
Gets
We
himself
are
in a
pretty-
position.
We are pretty far away from the ground.
Oh, here, let me move your horse underneath you, Azita.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish you
think
could group them together so I could just control both of them.
I can, but I think if I group them together, then you don't have control of them anymore. You have control of both of them right now, right?
Correct.
Let me try and group. I grouped them. Can you move both at the same time?
Yeah. Do. But now it looks like I'm on my horse's butt.
That was weird. All
Yeah.
right, here. I guess it wasn't quite done when it did it, so let's put you back
Yeah.
on it. Let's try it one more time. Now I'm going to click group, wait 10 seconds. 5, 2, 3, 2, 1. All right, now try and move.
Nope. Did it again.
Yeah,
Look
like
at
moves it
this.
first? All right,
Yeah,
then do you just want to move
I'm
them
chasing my horse.
separately?
Yeah.
Okay, ungrouped.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. But you guys hear? You do hear a delightful tune coming from somewhere inside the tower. There are a sort of bells and harps, music coming from inside.
Can I do like a quick Arcana check just to see if I get a weird sense of anything?
Yeah. You want to try and see if you does anything seem magical?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
I mean, I'm assuming it's magical, but like if I can roll high enough, maybe I can determine if. Nope. Never mind.
Yeah, no. As you kind of like
totally natural.
something, and you're like, no, you know what? This is all magical. Like, that's probably an issue. But if you did want to look for traps, I heard you say that earlier. You can go ahead and roll a perception check to try and see if you see pressure plates in the ground or tripwires or anything like that.
12.
How the heck is a 3D die cocked?
A digital
I
die
don't
cock
know.
does not make sense.
I
Because
don't
it looks
know.
like a 66.
I know.
What's that? 66?
What a great roll.
69.
When
Yeah,
do we get
but-
to fight the Jedi?
But as you peer in, nothing but smooth stone floors to the entryway, smooth stone walls leading up to this arch. Seems to be a mixture of stone and marble.
Okay. I guess I will.
Azita's slowly creeping forward to try and play with the curtains.
I will go through the curtain.
Azita, do not go through the curtain.
I'm not going through them. I'm just like playing with them and like swatting them back and forth and like
What's the
kind of
worst
chewing
that
on
could
it a bit.
happen?
Okay. So you guys are now just in the general entryway, and there is that curtain that is just to the north of you. If you want to step inside, I will go ahead.
Oh,
and
yeah.
reveal.
I'll step inside the curtain. I thought you meant it was up here.
I'll follow.
As you guys enter in,
You guys should probably like stick close so that way
Or we
Battle
can tie
doesn't start.
together.
so
That's true.
this open archway leads to this empty room, but then as you go through this blue curtain that's kind of flapping in the breeze, you enter a 100-foot high hexagonal chamber. containing
hexagons.
a giant-sized wooden table and stone chair on the far wall. Dangling from this incredibly high ceiling by iron chains are 6 crystal spheres that seem to be emitting a sort of a flame from inside them, but just a light that's being cast and is keeping the entire room very brightly lit. There seem to be no stairs or anything in the room until you look straight up into the ceiling, at which point you notice there is a 20-foot wide radius hole in the center of the ceiling. Down from this hole, as you enter the room, descends by far the largest creature that you have ever seen in all of your days. And first I'm going to give you the character's face. He is easily 40 feet tall.
Sweet.
I can't even imagine that.
And so as he kind of in these golden detailed purple robes filled with stars and moons on the pieces, he has this kind of wispy white hair that almost seems to kind of float and flutter about the way that the clouds themselves that this tower is on kind of move. And he even has a long beard coming from his chin that is in the same kind of manner. It's difficult to tell, like, is it the thinnest hair you've ever seen moving in the wind, or is it actually cloud itself? And he descends, and I want to give you an idea of how large he is, and the only way I could do that is by going to your hostile NPCs thing, but just give it a second. So, as all these creatures that you've seen, this is the size of the giant that is. He's on the far right of that map.
All these scrolls.
So he's
He's
almost twice the size, maybe a third larger than the hill giant that you have just fought and defeated. This isn't him. That is just a generic cloud giant to scale.
Hmm.
Can I make a knowledge religion check to see if he's some sort of god?
Absolutely.
I do
7.
have to notice, in fact, very large.
Yep. Worshipping a dragon deity. You think like, maybe this is a giant's deity. I'm not quite sure. I've never seen something so large. But as he starts. What happened? What I missed?
I'm sorry. No, it's not. Robin's just messing with me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Here's your big boy.
So he then he descends from this 20-foot hole in the ceiling, and he kind of floats on down to the ground, and he speaks to you in a language I'm not sure if anyone speaks, and I guess I should check these things a bit before I add that. Anybody speak giant?
I do not speak giant.
not right now, no.
So the first words that he speaks to you all come out in a sort of like snorted, she's snorted, nerd. And he kind of looks at you all, peers down at your faces, sees that there's no recognition, straightens himself up, shakes his head a little bit. Hello, hello, small folk. My name is Zephyros.
Hello.
I see you. Welcome to my home. And he's kind of looking to you to see if the words are. Welcome to my home.
Thank you for having us.
I mean, Azita's looking dumbfounded as shit. That's just her face.
Don't mind her. She's not used to things being bigger than her. But hello,
And he kind of
hello.
he kind of comes down and he sits standing in his chair, wielding
My camera's off. You can just hand me the food.
wielding a gigantic staff that is, his height, essentially. There are a couple statues in the room of what seem to be another kind of giant, and they're sort of almost a little taller than he. They're larger than he is on the statues, but those lights hang from the ceiling, and as he smokes, so he realizes his common is working for him, and he's like, I have seen you, and many of the things you've done. I believe. He's kind of looking and thinking. Are you the dancing lights? Waits expectantly, looking at you.
Do you mean sparkle motion?
His eyes light up. Big, giant grin comes across his face, and he laughs. Yes! Sparkle motion. Sparkle. Yes. And he's very happy for a moment, and he kind of, as he had just seated himself at his desk, stands and realizes how intimidating he makes, and sets himself kind of back down. His hair and his robe seem to keep like billowing with a wind that isn't quite present in here, but that you definitely would have felt earlier up in the as you were kind of approaching the tower. He looks and he says, I want to help you, small folk. I want to help you, sparkle motion. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, and how would you like to help us?
Kind of listens to your words, thinks about them. There's a little translation in his head. I, Sephiros, have used, and he waves his hands about a bit in the air, and as he does, kind of like gigantic sparks go flashing off his hands. Magic, in order to know about you, and I think you can help my people. And he slips into a language briefly for a moment, and then he comes back. The giants.
Not that we don't want to help, but we're a little bit small to be helping out giants.
He kind of waves his hand, and he goes, I've contacted other planes and spoken to very, very large, and he goes, very mighty creatures about finding a way to set right the ordning. They've told me that the dancing lights, that sparkle motion will be instrumental in helping my people. And he's set back down in his chair now. The table and everything are massively over the the area, and like they just the table legs are like tree trunks, and to tower over you even as he sits. Did everyone? I don't see everyone walk to this room, so I feel like he's having this conversation with Pubert and Taliesin.
I mean, we're right here.
I mean, Sparkle
just wanted
Gem's
to make
right
sure.
here on the edge, so...
Forgive me, sir, but what is the ordning?
The ordning? And he stops and he thinks, allow me to explain. Giants are arranged into a caste, an order, if you will. The All-Father has broken the order. Giants are now in chaos. No longer do cloud giants respect storm giants. No longer do hill giants respect fire giants. No longer do hill giants obey the storm giants and ignore the realms of men, of small folk.
Yes, we actually just recently experienced that.
Many places are many giants intervening in the world of small folk. Most giants hate small folk. I respect you and feel you are worthy of living, unlike many of my people. Kind of stops to think, answering your question, or feeling like he's answered your question, starting to think about how I could.
Why do most giants hate small folk? What have we ever done to them?
Many giants.
Perhaps they
The
do not care.
ordning. Much of our world, much of the giants' culture, places emphasis on power and, in many ways, size. The smallest giants have the least authority amongst us. Many giants don't see the value that small folk have, and are more concerned, only concerned, with their caste and their kind. I value all giants, and I respect you, small folk. I and he kind of goes through a little, like, stops and a giggle, and you see his eyes kind of cross for a moment, and then rights himself as he shakes his head a bit. I have used magic to learn that the sparkle motion can help bring the ordning back. I'm so glad to have met you. I want to help you. Have been warned not to help you too much. And he kind of glances side to side.
Can I roll
And-
insight on his like weird laughing fits?
Yeah, absolutely.
22.
You get the sense that he's got a touch of madness.
Okay.
It's a little crazy. Where like because it kind of goes from being very like well thought and collecting his thoughts in his language and translating to speak in common, to then suddenly just a giggle and his eyes go wild but then kind of writes back and comes back up.
Okay.
Okay. So he kind of continues on. I've been warned about directly intervening, directly helping in the restoration of the ordning. I would answer any of your questions and take you anywhere you would like to go. What is your destination, small folk? Small folk motion, small sparkles.
I guess I would turn to the rest of the party and ask, what is our current objective was to just rescue the boys. We
So-
don't really have.
What I have heard from this Zephyrs, I think it was,
Sephiros, yes.
is that in many places, hill giants are not listening to mightier giants and are interfering with other small folk, as this one was interfering with us. And that if the ordning is restored, the hill giants and others will listen and will not interfere. And things will be as they were.
Yes, yes.
This is concerning to me.
The small
Beyond-
metal one is correct.
Just about everything else on the list, this is concerning to me.
What would we need to do to help you?
Simply follow your path. Be who you are, and everything should be okay. I'm sorry. My apologies. As his voice kind of like rumbles throughout the room, I'm doing like a mixture of like lighthearted, but it has a boom to it as well.
Yeah.
My apologies. Asking of the other realms for information has left me a little a touch mad. But I have recovered, and I'd like to help you. And it starts to like shake a bit of the room or the table. You guys can kind of feel the vibrations, like when you're too close to fireworks, and like the laughing just kind of reverberating in your chest a little bit.
Is there anything you can give us, or anything that you can do for us that will help us along our path, or are you only able to answer questions and take us places?
You are correct, furry one. Because I imagine you're wearing like. Oh no, wait, you don't have all your.
I don't have my
gear
high.
on anymore. Sorry,
Yeah.
I still
But he
picture
is
you. I
put
still
there.
picture you that way.
So you're entirely in green leather.
Why,
I've got
yes,
a green leather.
You are right, green one. You are right. I can answer questions, and I can take you to your destination.
How?
I fear doing more.
How was the ordning broken?
Oh, this is gonna be a bit.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna do it in his like belabored whatever speech.
I'll take a TLDR.
No,
Right.
do it. I'm
Okay,
just kidding.
here it is.
I'm just
20 minutes later, the end of the thing.
do it. Do it.
I mean, if you want me to, I'll tell you guys.
No.
So basically, he elaborates that the All-Father, their deity, decided to end and cancel the ordning. At which point, all of the giants felt it on a visceral level that they were no longer bound to the essentially the order that the All-Father had placed them in. He wasn't present exactly when it had happened, but there are a bit that he's been able to figure out through the divination magic that has occasionally caused him to go mad, but he has recovered from when he's done it. And what they essentially talk about is what is this? So several months ago, the king. Let's see. So there was a King Hecton. He would tell you about, and his daughters. They are the royalty of all giants. And when King Hecton emerged and left his throne in the trackless sea to take care of an issue that had been developing amongst them, King Hecton disappeared. And with Hecton's disappearance, a fight for the throne came up between King Hecton's children. When their god, Annam, the Allfather, I'll give you a quick couple posts. King Hecton, and their deity, Annam, the Allfather, had left. Annam, the Allfather, stopped answering their prayers and canceled the ordning when he disappeared. Now, King Hecton's wife is missing and assumed dead, and the daughters are all attempting to take control of the Worm Skull throne.
There's got to be a lot of worm skulls, especially for guys this big.
Right? They're so tiny.
His Hecton's wife disappeared as well.
Yes, he actually had gone looking for her, when you ask. That was where he went to disappear. When she disappeared and was presumed dead, he left to go look for her. And it was the first time he had left his throne in hundreds of years.
What was his wife's name?
If you ask, his wife's name is Queen Neri. And she was particularly fond of small folk.
Okay, I'm going to need somebody else to type me up that recap and send it my way because my cat was all over my notepad and my keyboard just now.
he'll kind of continue on if you keep asking about it, about how Queen Neri always urged him to respect the civilizations of the small folk, and while the king was inherently distrustful of them, he generally just wanted nothing to do with them. But he respected his wife and treated people, and thus, by order from the king, all giants treated the small folk as just generally something to be left alone.
So the king is missing and cannot be contacted, and only the king can restore the ordning in the same way as it was broken.
He believes, I believe, whether all Annam brings the ordning back when he returns, that at the very least, the king will put things into their order, into the way things have always meant to be.
Okay, and also, what type of giants were the king and queen?
The most powerful of giants. The greatest amongst our kind, storm giants.
And where were they last seen, I guess?
Do
we have any idea where they went?
No, he doesn't, unfortunately.
He doesn't know. Okay, that's fair. So we're looking for a storm giant.
It seems that the king has. He does believe through his divinations that the queen is indeed dead, and somehow the king either doesn't want to be found, or someone's making it so that he cannot be found.
So basically, he pulled us up here to give us a quest.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I would turn to everyone and say, I mean, I would like to go back to town to at least get my shield. But does anybody have any idea where we should go from here?
Well,
he's not really telling us where to go. He's just saying to stay on our path, but we didn't really have any sort of definitive
on the one
quest
hand,
at the moment.
there is the path that we would have gone on had we not gone up here. Had we not encountered this one.
Ignore this.
And perhaps we could there encounter signs of some purpose behind other giant activity, or signs of a conflict beyond our understanding. In the other direction, there's the nobles of Neverwinter, and perhaps socializing there, we could encounter someone mentioning something that happened in their territory that seems to connect with this. Or we could find some magic strong enough in the bottom of a dungeon to actually find this person, despite the precautions.
Okay, I feel like we totally could easily go to one of the major cities, go to a library, and at least start looking into books as to where storm giants typically inhabit.
I have a book. It's really good, too.
Yes. But would that book give us, like, the region of where storm giants would typically be found? Or would that be found in another book? Like, you know what I mean?
Honestly, Zephyrus is like, this is out of character. He's he's like a little cute old guy. Look at his little mouth.
Big.
So He's just like, would you like some Werthers? Sorry.
Yeah.
He looks very cheerful, like jolly. I'm
He
glad
did
that he's
say
nice.
He's
he would
generally
help
quite nice.
us, right?
Answer any questions
Yes.
that you have, and take you to wherever your destination is.
I would like to ask Zephyrus, sir, how fast can this tower of yours move?
Fast, I suppose. Faster than your four-legged friends.
It moved from the horizon to near us in less time than we can respond.
Yes, it brought us the horizon. I did see this.
And if it can
Yes.
maintain that speed.
He kind of leans in and goes, "What was your destination before I arrived?" In fact,
So,
I will take you anywhere. But out of my large curiosity,
I would like to, if we could return to Phandalin for a moment. I have some things I need to pick up, and then we can venture on from there.
Well,
Where is he going to send us?
I suppose we were technically heading to Tribord to fulfill one job and start another.
shouldn't we pick up the boys first?
They're on their way home.
You trust your steed, don't you?
so you have many places
I do.
you'd like to be, and many
I just need
things
to.
do.
I just need to stop at one place, two places,
Or
very
perhaps-
quickly,
Hmm.
both
I
within the same town.
I can help you get to your destination. If we must journey somewhere else first, I can still help you reach your destination. I simply need to know where you were headed. And you kind of get the idea, he really wants to know where you were going.
Oh,
We were going to Tribor.
yes.
Ah. And you need to be somewhere before your destination?
I need to go back to Phandalin for a moment to just pick something up, and then we can go to Tribor.
But isn't that thing not ready till evening?
We've
And
been
you
gone
need-
for multiple days.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
several
true.
days. And you
forgot about that.
have younglings that you care for?
We had sent them back. They probably are not too far. Do we have any way of getting them up here
They are my neighbor's children.
besides
we
the
are fond of them.
staircase?
Small folks, small folk. Yes, I can help you with these things. I can take you to them and to this town, and then to your destination, yes?
Yes.
If you did these things, they would help us reach our destination sooner.
As soon as you say yes, big smile crosses his face again. You're kind of like going from like small smile to big smile the whole time that you've been talking to him. He's like, I can help with this, and I can answer your questions along the way. Where are these younglings and this Phandalin? And, of course, this Tribor. And he just wants to know your destinations, like where they are. He has no idea where human settlements are. He's completely.
Am I
clueless.
still in contact with Louis?
I mean, there's no distance
Oh.
limitation, so yeah.
So you need to be within 5,000 feet to do your tele thing. and we're like 1,000 feet in the air. And do we need to do trig for this?
Well,
We can say you're still just barely in contact with him. Just right in the.
I was going to say,
You
yeah,
have
it's
the
on
feeling.
fine.
Yeah.
I run out and I'm like, Camelot! I'm just kidding.
shouting off into the sky, Camelot!
So hoping, because if they're within a mile still, then I could have Louis just bring him back to where we were. I'm not sure how much time would have officially passed since we started going up the stairs.
I can say that you could send a command to Louis, right? Louis?
Yeah.
Louis? Yeah. You can send a
Louis.
command to Louis. How's he gonna communicate with the kids?
I wasn't quite sure, honestly.
Stop and just put his. Well, he could communicate with the other animals, right?
I mean,
They
I
all
don't
speak
know.
animal. The horses speak ostrich, and the horse.
Well,
and
I
camel.
think via Sylvan they can understand each other's like gestures and stuff.
You could kid each other in a sense, but so I'm listening. I'm listening to the ideas here.
Like I'm just because I don't. Yeah, he's a bird. So
Meep meep.
imagine like squawking and yelling at Camelot.
Meep meep.
You see he goes, "Pardon me," and he floats and levitates 100 feet up into the hole in the ceiling, and he's gone for a few minutes. After a little bit of time passes, he comes back down with a scroll, and he unrolls it out on his table, gestures towards you, and he goes, "Could you tell me where on my map?" And so he's got a map that is of Faerun, the continent. And it's like, "Hey, come here. Tell me about it."
Where's
I'm
your
happy
bird?
so-
How big is this map? Is it like his sized?
Yeah, it's kind of covering the table up there. And you guys
So
are going to
you-
have to climb up the table.
Yeah.
or something.
So
what's involved with that?
you're gonna have to like stand on the point in which
I
they're
don't know
about here.
what is involved in that. I know what Jerk does. Jerk goes up
Torque is
and he
and
climbs.
tries to steal it.
Oh no, he climbs
Another-
up the table, and he's on it. So,
like,
climbing
I'll,
things is his deal.
I'll try, but like I'd like to try that.
You want to try? Okay.
Yes.
I know Jerk's
I-
got a lot of advantages on climbing, so I assume that he can do it. You can climb it. Give me a simple strength check just to see if it takes you a lot of effort, or if maybe you fall a couple times but get up there eventually. Yeah, and you're able to haul yourself up. Maybe you drop your gear or something at the table to lighten your load a little bit, but you can get it back up on the table.
Anybody looking at Pew Bear can see him like mouthing the conversation. He's not saying anything, but he's mouthing his side of the conversation with Lewis. Like I don't know. Flap your wings.
So this
Wink
map
with your beak.
Flap and tell
Is
them
it-
to stop their feet.
Stop. I
does
don't
it
know.
does it match any of the maps I have?
Yeah,
Or is
you could see it's kind of like a larger version. Man, if I had one without it on it, but basically you can point at stuff on your map, and I'll bring you guys over to it. You can point to stuff on your map as places.
My big map of all of Faerun.
Right. Your big map of Faerun's probably closest to what he's got on here. That he's like, "We're here," and he kind of, like points to this area, and you're like, "We are here.
Well, if we know that
I could take you anywhere." As he points across to all the different areas.
if we know that
World.
Pew Bear's bird is still within range, then we know that they're within a mile from us. So they can't be very far.
Would you like the staircase to descend and find your younglings?
I mean, I almost died on that thing. But one of the stronger folk can go down there.
I mean, I'll go down and get him.
And an X.
Can you not teleport them up here?
Oh, are you asking if he has like a teleport?
If he, yeah.
Hmm.
And another color.
I could perhaps, if I knew where they were and which of the many small folk they were, try to use my magic to raise them up.
Like,
They're a small folk in a cart with being led by a bird, a camel, and one horse. I don't know if that narrows it down for you.
That he'd take us to the site of your errand and look for them on the way.
That's fine with me. I don't know how we'll be able to see down, but he
And
may be able
of,
to.
That's kind of where he's like, he's like, can we, it's like, if I could see them, perhaps? If we know
He might
who
be
they
able to see
are?
them.
He doesn't really have anything he can
I,
do to help find people on the
well,
trail. That's a little...
How did then? If that's so, how did you know where we would be?
Through divinations. And the...
For us specifically,
Well,
of course.
for the dancing lights, and I found what location to go to, and when to lower my stairwell.
Indeed.
I mean, because if you can just ask a god, like, "Hey, where should I go?" And it just
That's
tells
not-
you exactly, you just go there.
Yeah.
You don't really need.
Right.
This reminds me of something from literature that I've marked.
Well, so if we were to follow the path back to Phandalin in this cloud castle, he doesn't have any way of seeing down to the ground to see if we pass them. And we are far too high to where we would be able to see. Although, Godwald, can you use your magic to contact them again and ask them where they are?
I can.
Why don't we do that?
Basically,
Sure.
you guys, as you're going along, and I can see kind of like where you're getting to, as you're questioning him and finding out, he doesn't really have a really good way of like narrowing down people, or like it's not.
Should we just?
Like a telescope or anything on here? He uses.
We could tell so if we haven't moved, we could just tell the animals to come back, and we could tell the boys to come back and get on the tower with us.
Or we could just trust that they'll make it back.
I mean, how quickly does he?
And what you think the 3 days of traveling back will give them some time to think?
Yeah, maybe they can stew in there.
Yeah, basically, like things. If you think about like his point of view, like from where he's at, he's gonna look at a map and the features on the map, and then he's gonna be looking down from 1,000 feet up in the sky and make his judgment on where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. So let's just go straight to the.
Vandal?
Yes.
I'll be right
And I
back.
started making little
I'm gonna go
sketches
first
on
with
my
break.
map.
Okay.
Copy over to theirs
All right. Yeah, I'm
on the Faerun map.
with the. Yeah, so you take him over to the fair. You basically point him on your map where he's at on his, and you're kind of like here, like this is a little closer view than what you've got, and you're kind of pointing in the areas to say, hey, let's go to Phandalin.
Yeah.
No, I just drew some tiny lines on the Faerun, like if you go parallel to this mountain range and you make a turn where the forest ends.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You could see that on there. So he's just kind of like, okay, he like gets the idea, and he does take you off in that direction. What I'll say is what basically ends up happening is he ends up at about like here off on the trail from where he is, where he stops to see, and from that height you're not quite sure. You could kind of Phandolin's a really small town, and like hills and things are a little easy to see, but let's see how well he does navigating in there. Oh, he nat 20s, yeah. So he takes you
Nice.
straight. He gets a bead on where Phandolin is from your map, looking at his and doing it out. And in a moment of odd clarity, in the very brief period of time that you've met this man, he drops you literally in the town square on Phandolin. So as the tower goes up, you feel a gust of wind go out, and he says, "You may descend, and I will wait here for you."
Okay, Taliesin thanks him and then makes off towards the stairs. He's going to head down to grab his shield, and I also want to go and grab the potion of invisibility that I had been brewing.
Okay. We'll go pick up back from there after a quick break. I need to hit the restroom. And
Sure.
I was gonna say, so I need to disappear for a bit. I'm not sure how long I'll be, but I guess the big thing is P-Bear is. I don't know. But no, I will be back hopefully soonish.
Okay.
I just
just in general, P-Bear wants to just to accept the ride to Triboard. Wants to make sure
he'll
that the
accept
kids
ride
get back
to
safe.
Triboard.
Like ask him if
The
he'll
biggest
wait a
thing
day
is
while they come
that
back or
safe
something.
right now. It's like his number one. You guys are safe and at home. And the biggest thing he's going to do is encourage them to maybe seek training at the Lord's Alliance before wandering off again.
All right. Yeah, you guys get there way before the kids do. But we'll worry about that then when we get back. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
5-minute break.
Test 2, 3, 4. Uh, 3, 4, 5. And Jade asked, "Well, you're from the future, right? Don't you know already if it'll work?" And Dave responded, more or less. I never really studied how it went down all that closely. I just figured when the time came to sort it out, the right thing to do would be obvious, like it is now. Managing the loops is a balance of careful planning and just rolling with your in-the-moment decisions and trusting they were the ones you were always supposed to make.
Hey, you guys got me thinking about Cloud Castle travel times.
What?
Hey, you guys got me thinking about Cloud Castle travel time.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of like in Super Mario 3 when you go up to the Cloud World.
Yeah.
I just want to get my shield and my potion. We can to Tribor.
Cloud stairs. No, it's done.
Cloud stairs are cool.
I mean, he basically he lands you right here. And they go on up, spiral around up into the sky.
That's sweet.
Did you see it? Chris was watching the stream, and he said, he says he misses us, and to treat Jerk kindly, please.
Ah, miss you too, bud. Oh, Robin said hi earlier, but you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, hi, Robin. Say hello for me, please. Whenever.
I shall. She's downstairs. Her mom is staying with us right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, her brother is in the hospital,
Oh shit. That's terrible.
and he lives in Columbus. So, yeah, he thought he had the flu, and it turned out that he had an attack.
He had what?
Which he had a heart attack,
Oh jeez.
but he thought it was the flu and just like kept going to work. And it was like 3 out of 4 of his arteries were totally clogged or something. And I don't know, man. It's crazy. He's like, yeah, he said that he like felt weak and like sick and had like a fever.
Huh.
I was like, well, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it sucks.
So, but he's doing better now, I guess. They like were able to clear 3 of the 4 arteries coming from his heart and like patch a hole in his heart or something. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
She was telling me all about it, but he seems to be doing better now.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, this one page of Homestuck about, like, yeah, if we know it's going to work out, then we can't interfere that much because it already works out. So any meddling pushes it away from working.
Wait,
Maybe.
what?
That's the situation he's in. He's basically
Yeah.
like he used his divination magic and contacting other planes in order to ask questions to try and find out what he could do. Instead, he found out that there are people that can help, but he shouldn't interfere with them. And so he's still kind of like pushing the bounds of helping you too much. He can't have a direct hand in anything, but
He could
He
take
can't-
us from point A to point B and help us that way, but other than that, he cannot actually fight alongside us or anything like
He
that.
can't help us directly, but he can urge us to help.
We're
you-
still the actors.
You get the sense that he's even kind of bending the rules by
Contacting us.
moving
As a
you
fan.
to another location before taking you to your destination. But he was really pushing that destination piece. He's like, "What's your destination, though? I need to know where I should be taking you, because that's where I need to be taking you in the end." And so that's what he was trying to kind of like get out of you guys. Like, wherever you were headed, that's what I need to. That's what I know I can do here.
So, yeah. So he could basically just drop us off at one point.
And answer any questions that he can answer. And
I mean, he's dropping me off at
character, real
Vandalin.
quick. Just how long does it take to travel with them?
I'd say
It's pretty fast.
less than an hour. to get the whole week's travel we were going to go in the first place?
I mean, from the sounds of it, it was definitely less than a day.
Oh, how long did it take you to get here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because we're on a maybe on Joe, and he's going to be back later. Okay, so since we're all back, I was thinking about, I was like, all right, yeah, so Cloud Castle travel time is a bit faster than on things by foot. He was able to locate this and bring you here in a matter of hours compared to a matter of days that it would take you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did his best to try and coerce a set of things out of you. Like, what is your destination? That was just from your general insights, you would know that he really was really pressing on that point. So yeah, but so you guys do come back to Phandalin. Yep. And
Big shocker.
I know. I think are you guys sure you don't want to set up a bar here and just live here for the rest of your lives?
I already do.
I mean, just
That's true.
but
And
never
I know.
leave. Just to like.
Are we
stay
gonna like
here.
always sunny it and just open up a shitty bar and then
I can claim in my memoir that everything that I've done this entire process.
You guys
has
knew
been
I
trying
had
to keep
stuff
this
here.
place standing, okay? Because
Right.
there's been most of the stuff has threatened this town
So-
specifically, or in general.
I
Oh,
had said that
actually.
I take off to quickly go down the stairs.
I'm
doing that thing-
down the steps. Is anybody
Yeah.
else going?
Question:
I,
How long
uh,
does it take Taliesin to retrieve his? shield?
Probably like an hour most.
Oh, so you're
Is
gonna
that
wait.
enough time?
You're gonna wait and see how long he's gone before you make a decision.
No, I'm trying to guess because I want to go to the Lord's Alliance and turn in these goblin ears.
Oh, okay.
All right, you might as well just come with me then.
Yeah.
And
You're gonna be waiting either way.
You know, it took you guys like 30 minutes to climb the stairs. Probably longer than that. 1,000 stairs, 1,000 feet worth of stairs.
Like an
Yeah,
hour?
30 minutes, an hour. It took you.
Oh
Took
yeah,
it-
totally
took it
drop
good.
down with them then.
Took you
What
a
I will
good
do-
to go
what-
up.
What I will say is that if you are going with me, I will transform into a warhorse and allow you to ride me down, which will
Well,
be
we
quicker.
have
and then-
horses, so
and
you
then-
could just ride my horse even.
well,
Yeah.
fine. I was
So-
trying to be helpful.
And she's
Well,
being
I'm just saying we have-
uncharacteristically friendly, offering you a horse.
I know.
This might be
Yeah,
an
That's
I don't
true.
know
opportunity to
if
make friends.
Novak would
Yeah.
just jump on your back. Like I've known you for like 2 days, 3 days.
I mean, it's just a fast way to get down. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we already have horse. Like Kamala's in the tower with us with the boys, right?
No.
You could
no,
just
we
ride-
never picked
No,
them
they're
up.
not. Yeah, they're.
We
off
never
on
picked
the
them
trail
up.
coming
We're
back.
letting them get back. This is a life lesson that they are learning.
I swear to God, if my cart gets destroyed, my wagon gets destroyed again, I'm gonna be pissed.
I have this idea of Sparkle
I
Gem
fought
just
3.
like off on some secret mission somewhere, and it's just like, if any of my stuff is missing, if any of my stuff is damaged, my stuff is my stuff, and you're just like fuming in the back room of like a circus, putting on makeup, and you're just like angry about it. Like,
Somehow you
Ah.
just get. It's
I
like
get
it's
this
like the
gut
force
feeling.
where it's just like you get the gut feeling and you're like motherfucker.
Okay, real quick, out of character. Who else? Because I said I was gonna take the ears. Who was it? Hubert that got the hands?
No, it was Taliesin that took the hands.
I think that
No,
was-
I didn't take the hands. I was gonna take the ear. You were gonna take the hands, and then I said, "Remember, the ears are worth 6 gold apiece." I think it was, and I
It's
said,
just proof of kill.
"Yeah." And then
Okay.
okay. And then I think I asked you to share the gold with us. Like I would let you get all those and do something else, or something. I asked you to share it with us at some point. But regardless, all I want to do is grab my shield,
All right,
and I want to,
go
and I
again.
want to, and I have to go to Trenzadar Manor anyways because that's where I was brewing the potion, and it needed to sit for.
So I hear
Azita, do you want to go with us?
2 people are going down.
Azita's going to be distracted by this giant thing in front of her, still dumbfounded that it's bigger than her.
Okay, so Zeta stays.
All right, Azita, you're in charge of the horses. You take care of them.
Okay.
Jerk. I don't believe
Taliesin,
has
do you
any
want to
business.
transform?
Oh, Jerk doesn't have any business, but that he thought of. But he thinks he'll go down with you in order to tell Halia that the kids are coming and that they're gonna have his staff. And if they don't give it to her, that he wants it back anyways. So he'll go with you.
Can a Taliesin as a war horse now carry 2 people or just 1?
Well, I don't think I turned into that because is
We were
apparently
just-
letting
yeah.
me ride her horse.
Yeah.
But to answer the
Yeah.
question, yeah, you should be able to put 2 people on it. Though it's like, 2 people in all their gear might bog him down and slow his movement a bit. But
And there's no
Well,
saddle.
you could leave the gear with me since, like, as collateral for riding my horse.
there are 4 saddles on the cart.
Yeah, I would say I imagine as I'm like, because I'm trying to like hurry up basically, so I'm
I was
like
just trying to find it the quickest way
like
down
doing like
that.
a light jog to the shop to get my shield, and then up to Trenzadar Manor to get my potion, and I just want to like as I'm passing people in the street be like, hey y'all, yeah, Cloud Castle this is my new whip, just like.
And so, Godwald, you're staying, or are you going? Are you going
No big
down, or you
deal.
staying up?
On the one hand, somebody should tell Sildar that there may be increased giant activity around.
Okay. You
Giants,
You could
cloud
ask your
node.
cohorts who are.
Even though we just killed one. If anyone's going to that office,
I mean, I'm going up there, and so
I'm
well,
going to
actually,
Lord's Eye,
Azita's gonna
trying
be
to-
talking to him directly. I think, not Azita.
Novak.
Sorry, Novak.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Novak's going, Talison's going, Godwald has a message he wants to send along to Sildar.
I think I'll just send a letter with Novak.
Okay.
I'd like,
Yeah, sure. I'll take
like
it.
here's what we found the kids.
Charge him $3 for delivery.
I was
Are
thinking that. Yeah, I was like,
$3.
I'm gonna charge you.
I'll pay when you bring the response back.
Are people freaking out that there's just like a cloud tower?
Yeah,
We will
that they
find
are.
out as soon as I know who's going and who's staying.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was saying, we found the kids, fought off a goblin ambush, then there was a hill giant. There may be more giants around.
All right. and
Increase
you're
patrols if you
staying
can.
Okay.
up. Azita.
Is he
Don't
to
do anything
stay?
Stupid.
Zeta
I'll
staying.
just
Doing
send that
anything
with
stupid.
Novak.
I think
but
it's just me and Novak.
Alright.
somebody
Don't do
should-
anything
Well, and Jerk,
stupid.
and Jerk's gonna go down with you too.
Azita's just gonna give you like
Oh,
this
that's right.
dumb look if you tell her not to do anything stupid. Like she doesn't know what you're talking about.
Alright, so Taliesin,
So,
where do you head first? The
So I stay up
woodworker's
here to keep an eye on the
or
danger bear.
I'm going to the shield workers shop.
should go in the
first.
woodworker's shop first. And then Novak, I assume you're going straight to Tresnar Manor, and Jerk's gonna go
I am.
down to Halia's house to let her know about the kids and the staff. And if that's his,
Yes.
and he wants it back. Alright, so as you all ride down the heavy, blustery winds that are far up into the sky here come and hit you yet again, are you doing anything in particular? If not, then strength rolls, please. Strength check. Strength check.
Do we have advantage because we're on horses?
Is everybody on a horse?
I thought I was
I'm on
taking
a-
Azita's horse.
Yeah, you were taking my
See
horse.
this
Well,
horse?
does that mean Jerk isn't on a horse?
Jerk could be riding doubles with one of you if you guys leave the gear behind.
Then
I'm not leaving my gear
I
behind.
mean, I'm just wearing
no, it just
leather.
means that the horse is slower, so that the horse can't carry it. It just can't run at the same speed that it runs, right?
Right.
So
All right, so one of us will get down there sooner.
yeah, so if the tieflings
I-
are in together, go ahead and roll with advantage on strength.
Okay.
checks. So
Oh,
that's
what is
one.
that? Lovely.
So, I guess the 10.
So that would be 3 or 5.
Novak and Jerk get pushed towards the edge of the cloudy stairs as a gust comes along, but you do still, you are okay. It just is, it's a dangerous and precarious situation as you continue going down.
Allison, you want to rope back up?
You guys then keep going, and I don't know if you do or not. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, we keep going down.
Okay, so you guys keep going down another couple hundred feet, and another gust of wind comes along, whoosh, and blows you. Go ahead, roll with advantage.
Oof.
Oof.
Sevens both times.
And it looked like a 17 too. I looked away.
I know.
So, oh my god. So
It says strength. What's
7
your
is the
horse's
highest.
strength bonus on these two? It's I'll look up for.
Are they just regular horses?
Yeah, Novus.
They're like riding
Yeah,
horses?
we just have regular horses.
Riding horses.
Yeah.
So there is.
I know I turned into one
There's
at
a
once.
+3 on that. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got a 10.
I got it.
So another gust comes along and pushes you, but not off. Just it's a dangerous, precarious thing. You wish that there were bigger handrails on the clouds as you came down. But you guys do descend. When you reach the bottom of the tower, or the bottom of the steps, what you find is that there are many of the townspeople out, as it's taken you a measure of time to climb down 1,000 steps and deal with the gusting wind, and they're all kind of like standing there, like several people just kind of like jaws agape, staring up, and they see you descend, and just kind of in shock. As you know, so there's just a couple different farmers, some people. Somebody had gotten the town master out, and the town master's standing there, and they're all just kind of like. And Harbin Wester comes out. He's like, "What's going on? Is everything okay? Should we be afraid? What's happening?" And he kind of looks to Jerk and Taliesin as the people that he knows.
No cause for alarm. It's with Sparkle Motion. Got this under control.
Okay. That's a pretty amazing way to travel, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Is a dragon going to come down from that tower and kill us all?
No. There's no dragons.
Oh.
I mean, there are dragons, so there's no dragons in this tower.
Is that a wizard's tower? I've seen Master Roshi with the flying boat before, but I've never seen something like this.
It is a wizard's tower. Yes, you're very smart for gathering that. It is a wizard's tower. Yes.
Well,
good eye.
Well, Master Roshi has done some crazy things, and this is some crazy things, and so they just kind of will stand around in a bit of amazement. Some of the townsfolk will kind of be like, "Is it okay to like?" They kind of like approach and like just wanted to like touching the stairs and like feeling that they're solid and being a little amazed even by that fact. Kind of look like they're thinking about going up.
I would stay on solid ground, folks. We'll be gone in a little bit, but
yeah. So then they listen to you. Jerk's like, shoo, no, not for you, bad, go away. And so they kind of back off from that, and you guys are able to go through the town and go about your business. Jerk goes straight to Halia's, lets her know about the kids that are coming back, about the staff that he wants back, and if that's coming in, asks if she can obtain it for him. She says like, well, you should probably go tell some of the family that they're headed back too, and he runs off to the elderly home. Taliesin, you go to the woodworker's shop, whose name I have not remembered to write down. Maybe it was Malchus.
Something like that.
And
I have notes.
He greets you with a smile. Is excited that you're back in time to see his work, and you already paid for it, so it's a very pleasant exchange. The shield is beautiful. It's ornate and
It's made out of fucking mahogany.
It's mahogany shield. The arm pieces he measured you before you left. It seems to fit and to hold well, and you now have a very fine wooden shield engraved with the. It's not the all tree. It's
the grandfather tree.
Grandfather tree.
What I did have a question. What stats does this shield have so that I can add it to my inventory?
A wooden shield. standard wooden shield.
Yeah.
But it is fine.
So-
It's
just like
it's
a-
valuable piece because of
Yeah.
what it is, and it's
But it would just be like a wooden buckler shield,
yeah, it's
something like that.
yeah, sure.
Wooden.
So buckler, a little smaller.
shield.
Thing.
It's just like a small round shield,
Okay, yeah.
something. Yeah.
Carved, beautifully polished. The,
Shield.
the lacquer alone feels like it's could take damage on it before they ever gets down to the wood. Like in the boasting that he had done about the different families in Neverwinter and Waterdeep that he had served, creating things for, is turned out to be true. So it's a fine, beautiful artifact that you get there. Novak,
Hell yeah.
Novak, while you head straight to Tresnadar Manor, there's nothing else to do. You get there, you're greeted by the guards, and you tell them that, hey, this thing I got to do. They're a little weird about, like, what's with the cloud thing? And I don't know if you talk about that as you go in or not, or if you're all business.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. Sparkle Motion is with it.
And so they
'Cause
kind of
they know.
accept that and let you in. This looks like someone had been going to get Sildar to show him, like, point out this thing that had been going on, but you kind of encounter him on the way down into the manor, and you report you've got these, you've got proof of more goblins killed. And what was it, 7 gold apiece?
I think it was like 7 or 8, but I didn't ever get a number of how many goblins was.
I think you guys in that last encounter killed 4 goblins. There was a 5th one dead on the ground. Beforehand, the rest ran away on their or rode the wargs away.
Yeah.
So you potentially could have 5 goblins worth
Okay.
of things. And if you have, like, their right ears and whatever, he accepts that for the 7 gold apiece. So 7 times 5, that gives you 35 gold off. Does his duty, and you can tell he's kind of rushing. He's interested in getting back to see what's going on. As it seems to be very important, but he first fulfilled his duty of paying you out. So go ahead and
Alright, real quick, out of character, is this the person I'm supposed to give the letter to? About
Godwald?
what's going on with the boys? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The boys will be back in town.
all right. So you
So
deliver-
as he's rushing me and stuff like that, I also pull out my envelope and I'm like, you also have this letter if you want it.
and he accepts it from you, and when he opens it, Godwald, what does he read?
It's like bullet points of what's happened since we left town. We found the boys. They're all fine. We saved them from a goblin ambush, sent them to town. They should be here in about 3 days.
Mhm.
Then there was a hill giant. Then that tower appeared. And there may be other giant activity over the next few days.
He kind of, like, sees this bit about the hill giants, being concerned, and the bit about the tower, having heard the bit about from his guards. He's like, I have to see this for myself, and he kind of then, like, finishes up the business with Novak, and then rushes out to stand outside and be a witness to this sight as well himself, the spiral clouded staircase heading up to this thing. And from the spot on the hill, it's actually probably the best viewpoint you've ever had of seeing this thing, and it is as this kind of thin spiral heads up to this tower up in the sky, wearing the tower itself wearing a gigantic wizard's hat. You're kind of just like, okay, yeah, that is really incredible to see as you kind of take it in with him.
Alright,
And he-
Novak comes up behind him and asks, or tells him, like, I need a response.
Oh,
He's really concerned. He doesn't trust me.
and he's like, I guess. And he asks you a bit about it, about what's going on. If you share the information with him, he, between that, what he's got, the letter from Godwald, he'll, kind of step back into the house, get a pen, fill it out to say, like, what essentially Godwald you get back later as a letter that says like thank you for the warning, thank you for helping take care of the people in the town. It's like as always, Vandalin is in your debt, and we wish you the best on it. Like please send word if there's more imminent danger heading our way, just as you have today. Thank you. Folds it up, gives it to Novak, and then kind of just he kind of goes back out with you and everyone else to go witness the spectacle.
I like to
And then my
imagine.
business done, so I go
Sorry, go
back
ahead.
to the tower or the stairs. But I I wait an hour to see if anybody comes back, Jerk or Towson.
Well, I would like to think that when you guys had gone out, because I just ran by, grabbed my shield out, I pay for it, and then headed over there. So as you guys are standing outside, I just kind of like
You can come up
briskly
after it's done, yeah.
Yeah, briskly walk past them, just like Wizard Tower, and then just go inside and go get my potion, and then come back out and head towards the Wizard Tower. And just I guess I would wait for everyone to meet up.
When you pick up the potion, it seems like the brewing had completed. Maybe you might need to spend a little time with it to be absolutely sure, but
Okay.
things being what there are, you grab it, you grab your goods, and you
Kind of in a hurry, yeah.
back out, yeah. At this point, after this amount of time has passed and the tower has been there this long, practically the entire town is out staring out. They've stopped where they're working on their farms. You can see people in the distance are off kind of staring at the spectacle as it's going up, and a crowd has gathered around at the bottom by where you are, Novak. And Jerk is there just being like, no, you don't want to go up there. It's very dangerous. Like, no, just wait. And everyone's like, yeah, and they kind of seem to be kind of almost pushing towards, like, they really want to go. They really, like, but you don't own this tower, and they're trying to get their way to get to these steps and go up.
In that case, I actually have something to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm listening. As I try to.
So... you remember that spell I can cast? Through
Thaumaturgy?
Yeah, thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I'm sitting standing on the bottom step, and I cast thaumaturgy, and I could cause harmless tremors in the ground for like 1 minute. As Jerk's saying, "Don't come near the stairs," and everybody's pushing towards it.
Yeah.
And it starts shaking the ground for a minute.
Rumbling and shaking, and you see a bunch of the it's kind of happening like as you approach too, and the townspeople just kind of back away, like, and they, okay, and they, a few of them. Actually, let me roll and see how many. So, a few of them catch a glance of you, Novak, and think that, like, you see this just big glassy look in their eyes, and they're like, it was her, wasn't it? And you hear them whispering between each other, like, is she the wizard? It's gotta be a wizard. And there's all these murmurs now about how you get this idea that maybe they thought it was your magical tower as you guys get back up on the stairs and start to ascend once again.
Do I hear them murmuring?
You hear some of the things, but roll me a perception to see how much of it you hear.
Okay.
No, she's just like kind of running around in here and didn't.
So it'd be
There.
21.
Okay. So, you definitely catch the eyes that looked upon you as he's going, and as you kind of approach the steps, the thunderous shake, and you get the sense between that and the whispers that they think you're the wizard. She's in, like, she's the one. She's like, is she dangerous? Like, I've seen her in town before.
I give him a smirk, and I go up like 3 steps, and I sit down as I wait for everybody else.
Okay. So you guys are ready, and you ascend the steps. Novak, waits on the bit, gives
Is
them a
Talisman?
smile, a smirk.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
I'm there.
And so as they go up and you wait, do you do anything as they ascend before you? As they start their climb? I feel like you had something set up here for like smile and waiting, and then
No, I just gave him a little wave as I go up the stairs. I don't talk to him because I never really talk to him.
you give them a little bit of a wave, and as you start climbing the stairs, they kind of poof, poof, poof behind you, and so they kind of like now think as you're ascending in the stairs, it's solidified their belief that
You are the
you
wizard.
must be the magical demon-esque wizard who has brought this to their town. And it's quite a sizable. As you guys look down and you start your climb up back again, it's quite a sizable crowd that had appeared then. You recognize some of the faces, the people that you've seen and things, but as you continue to climb, those faces get smaller and smaller, less and less visible to you, and you find yourselves once again. The winds have calmed, but you are now. Let me get you over there. You are now back inside Zephyros Tower, or at least outside of it, I suppose. And so, after just a few hours, kind of a longer period of time that it took you to travel here, once you're all gathered back into the room, Zephyros once again descends from the hole in the ceiling. He comes back down. He's like, "Is all of your business done? May I bring you to your destination?"
Yes.
To this land of boars. This Tribor, land of 3 boars. So few boars to have.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I'll slide up next to Kuber to offer him his letter back. His response
So you give the letter
of
to
a
Godwall.
payment of 1 silver. Yeah, Godwall. It's just 1 silver.
Godwall, that's for you. Just offering you the letter.
I did a CJ.
We're gonna call it a CJ because she's doing it right now. She's doing it right now.
Was I really?
Yes.
I'm sitting here being like, Oz, you're muted. Oz, you're muted.
Nice.
Why are you muted, dude?
Yeah, that's I was like, this is.
You pulled a CJ and I pulled a CJ trying to tell you you're pulling a
thanks.
CJ.
Fold this up, put it away, and then get back up on the map table and be like, so this is where we were, and this is following the mountain range, and then you see right here where there's the first of 2 rivers. What we're looking for is right at the river's edge, and that's our destination.
Okay. So you get paid your silver. So obviously mark a
Yeah,
silver
my
off,
silver.
add a
Yeah.
silver on, transfer your letter over, you get your news from
I did
them,
promise collect on
Yes.
delivery.
get up to the tower.
That's fair.
And at this point, it is the sun is setting, though it's not quite setting as much as it is for you from the distance that you are up into the sky. But it is becoming on evening, and Zephyros asks, "Are you ready to travel to your destination?"
Yes.
Wonderful. The land of 3 boars. And as he works with Godwall to make a point on the map, he kind of gets the idea of where you're talking about, and you see him levitate back up through the hole in the ceiling. A few minutes pass, and he levitates back down. He says, "While we're traveling, is there Are there any other questions I can answer for you about giants and our way, or
Yeah,
perhaps
can I get?
our situation? Sorry.
I was gonna be like, yeah, can I get a detailed list of all the races of giants and their weaknesses? Just in case one wants to be a dick.
Maybe phrased. I'm going to pretend to rephrase that and actually ask a somewhat different question.
Okay, so she asks that question, and what do you rephrase and say?
So, was the ordning just a feeling of who was mightier, or was it truly race by race?
So as he looks to you, first to Zeta, and answering your question, he says, there are several races of giants. There are, when he goes through any stuff, there are storm giants, largest and most powerful. There are cloud giants, wise and strong, second only to the storm giants themselves. There are... Oh, wait, what is it? I'm trying to remember them all. There are... where's my list of giants? I thought I sworn I just had this up. This makes me sad.
There's a total of 6. Do you want me to pull it up from like the D&D wiki?
No, I might. Let's see.
Okay.
But it is kind of... So there are 6 giant races. That is...
Yep.
There's storm giants, there's cloud giants, there's hill giants, mountain giants, and fire giants.
You're missing one.
That's 5.
And
Stone giant?
stone giant.
Earth giant.
Stone giant is, I think, what I meant by mountain giants.
Oh, okay.
This is what I get for drinking. Slows me down.
What about furbolgs?
Wood giants.
So he tells you a bit more about that. The ordning, the giants and the ordning. It gives you a bit more information. The ordning determines where they stand. Traditionally, storm giants stood at the top, tall, powerful. They struggled to keep the weaker races of giants from despoiling the realms of small folk and sparking conflict. The greatest storm giants are powerful seers, skilled at identifying and interpreting cosmic signs and divine omens. The aloof and aristocratic cloud giants, and you can kind of tell that he takes a little bit of pride in that in himself, in being so well dressed.
Yeah.
One step below the storm giants rarely condescend and deal with lesser giants or small folk. I respect you, small folk. Kind of trying to make that point over. Often, extravagance defines our culture and our place in the ordinary. Below us were, at one time, the tyrannical, warmongering fire giants. And next to them, the merciless frost giants. Fire giants rank themselves by their forging skills, where frost giants rank themselves by their prowess in battle. Towards the bottom of the ordning are the xenophobic. And he kind of tries to get a sense if you guys understand the word. The racist stone giants who live mostly underground. They often think of the surface world as just a place of dreams. The lowest and smallest of true giants are the hill giants. Gluttonous, loathsome, part of how I knew to find you. A group of adventurers who would slay one of them. They're dullards. They live mostly in fear of the rest of us. Because remember, in our society, the biggest rule. He's trying to give you an implication of how the size goes with the ordning. I think that's all of them, right?
It answers my question at the very least.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I found it. I found the thing that I had, I wanted, and I said it, and it makes me happy. Yay. So it kind of tells you what they're good at more than it tells you what they're weak against.
They take on Pokemon rules, right? I'm just kidding.
They totally do.
That's entirely how D&D works. Pokemon rules. Well, yeah. So as he explains that, you guys are able to see out some of the windows that the clouds have been passing by rather quickly, and his attempts to bring you to Tribor is super successful in your eyes, as he just kind of continues the conversation, and it's a couple hours have passed, so there is plenty of time for you if you would like to ask more questions or not. But he, as he mentions,
I mean, I would like to ask a question
yeah, go for it.
during this time. Like, if we have to fight your brothers, what is the best way to overcome them?
I wouldn't recommend to one so small to fight one so large. But I believe you are more clever than many of my people. Keep your wits about you. Think before you act. And do your best to never insult any giant, or they will find your size insult enough, their rage to being accosted with words would be mighty indeed. He's basically suggesting use your brains, not your brawn.
Yeah. I have a question.
Mhm.
This Hecton, was he known to be a man of reason? Would we be able to speak with him if we do find him? Would he prefer, a show of strength before he would listen to us?
Our king has always been very powerful, but he's always listened to the reason of his wife. Without her, I fear that displaying your strength may be the best way to curry his favor. Though I imagine it would have to be quite a bit of strength to impress one so vast and large as he.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
I would like to tell you this. As we have arrived, the king's daughters, Mirian, Nim, and Sarisa.
Can you type those out for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mirian is Mirran, Nym is Nym. Serissa is Serissa. Though they all wish to claim the throne, I feel Serissa would be the most willing to hear the small folk. We've had talks, discussions between us, where I feel she may agree with how incredible such small creatures can be, despite their size.
Azita would like perk up and be like, well, where can we find her? Like, where is she typically located at?
They are going to be at the throne, deep within the trackless sea, which you would know from legends as an area that is known to be almost impossible to travel to by way of boat. And in the trackless sea, it's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, right, where ships just disappear.
But it's okay to travel through via cloud god here.
I mean, perhaps might be
If that was where we were going to go.
Yeah, but I also feel like he may not be willing to take us to another giant spot, knowing he's not allowed to interfere with us.
But so he does tell you that there is Maelstrom is the name of the citadel, deep in the trackless sea, so underwater. Deep in the trackless sea is Maelstrom, the citadel of the storm giant, of the Giant's King. And that is where, he had mentioned it before, the Worm Skull Throne is located. I would be remiss if I didn't. I want to be wary of the giant lords whom seek the throne for themselves. Chief Gawk, and Gawk is literally G-U-H, Chief Gawk. An enormous giant in the hills of the Golden Fields. Thane, an inscrutable stone giant. An inscrutable stone giant. Specifically stone.
What was the name?
Because I said storm. Thane. Thane Kaelifica. I'll just post this one. But Thane, Thane. Who left the court after the disappearance of the king. Jarl Storvald. Jarl, Jarl, Storvald, Strvald. An adventurous frost giant Jarl in the coldest reaches of the sea of moving ice. And two others. Duke Zalto, a fire giant, who wishes to become ruler of all giants by slaughtering our ancient enemies, the dragons. There's Duke Zalto. And last but not least, Countess Sansuri. Vain cloud giant countess, noble, who has retreated to her castle in the clouds. Each of these, I'll post her name too. Each of these wishes to become the new king And I believe that only by restoring the ordning can we possibly avoid the destruction that will come as each of these attempts to take power and despoil the realms of it's a humanoid kind. It just warns you to watch out for these.
Taliesin thanks him. I appreciate your warnings, and I will take them to heart. So you did say to continue on our path, and that would lead us to helping you. So I'm sure we will see you again.
I do believe that you are headed to a place where you will make decisions that will affect all of giant kind. And I only ask that you forgive many of my kind the arrogance of their many years. And please help if you can.
I will help those that I can, and I will ask that you forgive me if I have to if we have to take down some of your brethren and sisters.
Oh, that
You'll
Gawk,
be
she also
weary
steps out.
to challenge a cloud giant, but
I mean that
for the greater good, I believe that may be for the best.
Yes.
Novak also steps up. So, if we challenge your brothers, will you also aid us?
I may find it difficult if you were to attack one of my own while there, but I believe that what actions you all take and the decisions you make will be for the best of my kind for as long as we may survive. Our kingdom's long since not been what it once was. Giants no longer rule over the land, and we have remained at war with dragons for many, many years. Eons might be the word. But still, I would never go against the will of the gods and attack the dancing stars. He gives you a little nod in the bow to tell you that he's not going to attack you. He personally is going to leave you alone.
Yeah.
But that doesn't let us know if he'll help us. Well, no, he said
he said he can't help us. He can't help us directly. He can only. Yeah, he feels he basically feels like he's doing maybe a little bit too much by chauffeuring us around.
Yeah, the one thing, you guys wanting to go somewhere else before he took you to whatever your intended destination was before, you get the sense that he was kind of like, oh shit, I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of stepped in. He may have crossed a line.
I get the feeling that even talk is like crossing the line for him.
Borderline, yeah.
A lot of the people.
It's been tough for him to only do these other things. You could tell he really wants to help you guys.
He wants to do more, but he knows he can't.
He's been warned against it, and so even to ask those questions has caused him a bit of insanity, as he's kind of told.
Well, exactly. I want to kind of say to the other He's already lost a little bit of his mind, even trying to find out the information he has and just finding us. I think he's done all he can. We appreciate, and I'll turn to him, we appreciate all of your help, good sir. And as you said, our path leads us in the direction that we will help you. So I'm sure once more in our travels, and I will be like, we should go.
So with that, are we being dropped off at Tribord?
And,
Yeah.
And he says, if there are no more questions, I have brought you to your destination. And he starts to levitate up towards the ceiling. Slowly.
One last question. Is there any way we could recontact this guy so we could get another lift another day?
I fear the interactions we've had already are more than I should have ever interfered with. And the wrath of the gods is something that even we giants fear. As they are larger, greater, and more powerful than even I.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ask that out loud, I would say I can try later once we have done what we are expected to do, but I do not expect him to respond.
Well, he's basically just said, like, this is the one time I'll help you guys. Beyond this, like, I'm too fearful to reach out again.
At least until we do the things that he thinks we're going to do. But after that...
Yeah, information he has now is...
We can talk about it after.
Okay.
We can talk about after when after occurs.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm very excited after we land.
I have his number.
He kind of just then like flows up 100 feet up towards the hole in the ceiling and ascends and leaves you all in the room that you're in. He took his map with him. Yeah. And so there's essentially like 2 large statues, an entryway, and a few hanging gigantic sort of candelabra things.
No other doorways or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can look around if you want. He's gone.
Are there any oversized stuffed animals in the room?
Make me a perception check.
It's a big stuffed owlbear the size of a cheetah.
18.
Oh, God.
Yeah, as you
Straight
look around,
18.
As you look around, you don't notice anything else, but you do see the statues that are there. They seem to be of another kind of giant, and as large and as massive as Zephyros was, these statues are even larger, though they are both of, it seems like the same giant. There are 2 monuments to the same gigantic creature. But they are not holding stuffies. Nope. You have the only stuffy in the room.
Can I take note of the appearance of these statues? I'm kind of assuming that this may be the king, or what the king would look like. A depiction of him.
We should have asked.
So, what you do see is a creature that it is very tall. It's wearing an ornate kind of armor, a sash, a cloak that kind of comes over the left side, a shoulder piece on the right side, large belts and braziers, and is holding a massive mace. The beard comes from the nose of it and goes all the way down to the belts at its waist, and it is wearing a crown. So you feel actually pretty strongly that your assumption might be correct. This might be these may be images of King Hecton.
All right, so we're still in the cloud tower right now before we drop down.
Yeah, no, you guys are just in this room. Where you are in the map, you're just in there.
So how are we supposed to be dropped down into Triborg if he's gone?
He put down the stairs.
Yeah, if you step outside, you see that the stairwell is there.
It's just gonna do it.
Do we
I'm
just
gonna-
want to walk around the building quick, snoop around before we leave?
Talison's gonna go down the stairs. If you
Yeah,
guys
I
want to
wanna
check it
get-
out, you can.
I would prefer to get out of this because I don't trust this guy because I have no reason to help. He said all these bad things about us because we're small. And there was
He
no
didn't.
benefit to helping him for either my group or anybody else.
I mean, he didn't say anything bad about us for being small. He said
didn't
that
say
other.
anything bad.
He
but
said
didn't say
other
anything
giants. The other giants. He said he respected us, but other giants may not. Though he did say he's not asking us to go out of our way to do anything. He's just saying, along your path,
If this so happens to come up, please be wary.
like along your path, you will inadvertently help us at some point.
And when I
Basically.
explicitly asked him if there's any way, if we encounter your brother giants, is there a way we can overcome them? He didn't give me an answer. So
Sure, but if I asked you, hey, how do I murder effectively? What would you say?
a knife.
Well,
He said that he would never attack you all if you
Yeah.
attacked his brethren.
He would not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would still try to be an observer. That's kind of what he's doing. Azita, as you walk around, you do notice there are basically outside of the little enclave at the entryway, there are 4 other kind of arching pillars that kind of seem to reach down into the clouds and then kind of arc up and over up towards the tower. Those are the pieces that keep it in place. As you go around the outside and you've been indoors, you know that ceiling that's 100 feet up with the hole in it is only probably the first third of the building, and that the tower probably goes up another 300 feet up from where it was. So you can kind of get a sense of the size of it by walking around it and understand that part about the building itself.
Man,
Does
wish I
anybody
could
else
fly.
anybody else walk over with Taliesin?
We're not climbing up.
I'm not going to climb up it.
Don't do it.
I feel like the cloud giant might get pissed at me if I just like start snooping through his house.
No, it's not that. It's I can't follow you.
Sure you can. I'll throw you on my back. Or climb into your bag and I'll just carry you in your bag on my back.
No, because I'll suffocate and die.
Only
did
after
we
10
end up
minutes.
With Pubear back? No, he didn't come back. All right, without Pubear or Jerkin, I feel like Jerk's the one who would be like, I want to climb up there and see what's up there.
Yeah,
I
Jerk
feel like
totally
Jerk
would
wants
be.
to climb it.
Right, he would want to with you, and I feel like Pubear's in that questionable area about who he follows or listens to. Like, oh, what? We're gonna go check it out? Okay.
well, should we?
Pubear also follows Jerk really highly.
It does happen from time to time because he just
Yeah.
seems to follow.
So, are we over Triborg right now?
Yes.
I mean, you're not.
Okay, so we're
He said you've arrived. You're all still
Okay.
standing in, for the most part, except for Azita who's walked around it. You're all standing inside, except for it sounds like Taliesin, who was ready to go walk towards the stairwell.
I was gonna go down the stairs.
Okay, does anybody else join Taliesin? Godwald, in particular, I think is my main question. Who's here?
Yeah, I'll start leaving.
Okay, so you go to leave.
yeah, like I will grab Azita by her arm. Like, no, let's go.
Pubear goes to follow you.
Let's go.
Okay.
Jerk being
And-
outnumbered would probably follow suit.
I'm gonna roll a d20. Over 10, he sticks up here with you guys to try and see what you do and follow his desire to see more of the thing. And under 10 and under, he just follows the other guys. He's a 19,
I don't,
so he
like,
sticks around with you two for a minute, just to be like, I wonder what they're gonna do, while the rest of you go step outside and move towards just leaving.
Well, Novak
staying-
didn't give
sticking
me
around
a
with
choice.
me and Azita. I mean, we're upstairs still. I mean, you're off in the... So I have to get you.
That's
Find
true.
where you're at.
Da di da di da.
So Zeta goes out and rocks around the building. All right.
Yeah.
Zeta and Novak, roll me perception checks.
Again?
Yeah, I wanted to see a
Yay.
perception while you're standing on the right side.
Woo, 19.
Okay, Azita, as you see the three of the guys go take their first steps towards the stairwell, a huge gust of wind comes along and blows them both, all three of them, off into the air. And you see them just go flying off
Who?
in the direction they're going. Taliesin, Godwald, and Pubert.
Wait,
We
what?
all get blown
Gus-
off into the air.
Yeah.
Blown off into the air offside of the stairs. The three of you, as you look down as you're going out, the stairwell was only briefly there, and it only goes down a few feet, actually, like kind of goes around one curl, and then ends, and you've just been kind of gusted off while that happened. And I will get back to you in a moment about that.
Well, we are 1,000 feet up, so that is 10d6.
Let me.
New characters,
Dragon
let's
Ball.
go.
I don't think it's gonna be that kind.
Hey, we're still alive. We're
And
good.
so no, but the three of you are essentially you had to be kind of at least in the gateway to see them go
Yeah.
and blow it off into the air as you're now standing inside the enclave,
So we just see them get blown away.
more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Azita's going to look at Jerk and be like, looks like you need a new family.
Welcome to the club,
And he's like, I'm sure they're fine. And he runs out, and as he approaches the edge, he also gets kind of jettisoned off in the same direction. And now it's
bro. Is
just the
there
two
no
of you.
chance for either of us to grab him? Or
We're
Yes,
not
he-
close
he-
enough, I would
He kind of
assume.
ran out, unless you run outside after him.
well, I don't want to run outside. I want to try to stop him before he runs outside.
He was really quick. He didn't really have much
Alright,
chance.
yeah,
But
no,
the two of you
All
are
right.
now standing
That's
here
fine.
in the tower.
I guess we just take the horses off the ledge. Whee!
Yeah, we're just sitting in this god tower with our horses.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go?
Just walk off the edge with my horse. Fuck it. Whee!
As you guys step outside, the same gust of wind carries you. Taliesin and Godwald and Pubert, you guys first kind of like picked up. At first, it felt like you were pushed off of it, and the height is terrifying, as it seems up more than the highest roller coaster you've ever been on. More than like you're essentially jumping out of a plane. And
I need music, please.
What?
I need music, please.
Oh, you want different music?
It's playing.
We're in peril.
Okay. All right, hold on. No. Oh, wait. Okay.
That works.
Battle music works.
It's called The Descent, so...
I mean, are we actually falling to our death?
So as
don't
you're
know.
flying out, the first ones to be kind of caught up in this gust of wind, you first feel as if you're suddenly blown off of the stairs and going out. As you see that the stairwell didn't even complete its route down, and you start flying through the air. Initially, I imagine terrified by the height that you're on, and you very quickly start plummeting down towards the earth. But as you start to approach it, your descent seems to almost kind of be caught as if by a parachute, and you kind of the wind hits and you start to slow, and then a few hundred feet above the ground you start to slow even further, and then for the last 100 feet or so you're almost like a balloon that has just been kind of let go of in the air. Just a very slow, gentle fall as you land on your feet easily and without issue.
That last 100 feet, Talison's slowly falling, and he's just like, okay, that was not cool. It was kind of cool, but not cool.
Thrilling for sure, and you can decide how thrilling it was to go at a brief moment of skydiving. As the rest of you who then followed suit later Also, you go through this series of plummeting very quickly, the speed starting to slow, and in the last 100 feet, it's almost like a crawl through the air. You kind of, 20 feet up in the air, wishing like you moved faster before you got in. You feel like a feather falling through the sky, and you find yourselves in a let's see, in a strange place. Jerk has never been here.
Oh, hey, we got the whole map because we saw it from above.
Yeah, and as you land, oh wait, let's see how close he was with his land. You land just out to the southeast of the city, coming up here, and you get the feeling that his entrance with the stairs was too grandiose and noted from the previous time, and he didn't want to continue that on, and Zephyros used some magic to help you quickly descend in what took you a matter of 45-ish minutes to climb up, and maybe 30 or 20 minutes to descend. You've now, in a almost blink of an eye, fallen to the earth in the safest, most comfortable, feathery, cushiony way that was ever possible. The hug of the weave around you as your feet lightly touching the ground.
So our horses are okay then? They're not freaked out?
Oh no, they're freaking the fuck out. They do not understand that magic happened in order to help you descend. They definitely thought they were going to die, and they're having a rough time with what they just experienced.
Right, so
But they do also land
them.
gently. Hooves.
I would say Azita's in the same boat. She's like flailing and crying and freaking out.
This is the
So I
experience.
have to calm down.
If any of your characters had a fear of heights, this is where you just had the chance to confront it.
I
was about to conjure so many giant owls grab us.
I'd settle for one. I missed mine. Although if
yeah.
that's what it's like for Gabe all the time. Yeah, just
You know what?
looking.
You might
at
actually,
Gabe.
you might actually be a little more familiar with being quite so high up, looking through Gabe's
Yeah.
eyes occasionally. Yeah.
The vision, yeah, but the balance.
Yo, it was a very different
I don't
experience
think
for
about
sure.
keep flapping.
Yeah, your body's always setting in a nice level place while you look through his eyes, and it moves
Which are
around
also
like a
with
video
user.
game, But in this situation, you experience the drop.
A
A few hundred feet in a moment. What is it? How many? I want to say it's 9.6 meters per second, but I feel like that's wrong. Is it 8.6?
The
I'm pretty sure Featherfall
Terminal
says, like, the
velocity?
maximum-
Yeah, you experience
Distance.
terminal velocity for a brief
it's like
moment.
80 feet per second.
Yeah, as you shoo out of the sky until you hit that kind of area where it started
It's
to
very
slow down
fast.
before you then experience that very slow drift as you bring yourselves down to the ground. And it's just it's kind of a bustling place as you're outside, and we could either stop there for the evening or continue on our way into what is probably Tribor.
I would like to stop there, but I would also like to be able to soothe my horses and Azita.
All right, you
before we
could,
go
Animal
on the
handling.
next one.
yeah, quick animal
I-
handling check. See if you can calm them down.
The animal is
So, animal handling is ability check.
so it'd be
This is a +2.
So 16 total.
yeah.
Azita's crying if less than 10, and it was a 9. All right,
Yes.
All right, Azita, roll me an animal handling check with disadvantage to see if you can calm your horse down and yourself.
Oh no, this is going to be bad.
Azita and her horse might just be like, "What the fuck?"
I feel
Got
like
it.
that. Oh, it's a straight die roll too. So
I
2d20,
will
keep
give you
lowest
the
one.
help action.
Okay.
I mean,
Hey.
Well, then with the help action, you get a 18 because your first roll would have been your only roll.
okay, that's fair.
So you are able to calm your horse down because you calm yourself down, at least in the exterior. Inside, you might still be freaking out, but to like be strong for your mount, you're there to be like, it's all right, it's okay, we're not dead, we're totally okay, we're not falling through the sky anymore, we're on the earth, this is where we belong, on the ground.
Rationalizing herself and the horse, like it's
Yeah.
okay, baby, it's okay. We got this.
But yeah.
Apparently, terminal velocity is if your limbs are splayed out and your stomach is down, it's about 120 miles an hour. If you falling in a free fall and somewhat streamlined, you can go up to 310 miles an hour.
Terrifying experience.
Yeah, like I said, Azita was too busy like flailing about to even think about going straight down.
Yeah.
Does
I mean, part of me was tempted to make a con save to see if she peed herself.
who are my proficient in insight check characters? Is it Taliesin and Godwald?
I think so.
I believe so.
I think so.
Roll me a quick check. I want to see which one of you gets higher than that.
Yeah, my
Something.
insight's only 2.
Just if you're proficient.
12. Oh, I didn't mean to re-roll. 12.
Crit fail.
You
Taliesin,
got an 8.
Taliesin, you get the sense that he really wanted to get you to your destination, and had kind of gotten a little tired of waiting, and so used a magical gust of wind and a feather fall spell in order to get you all to your destination as quickly as possible.
Although Taliesin does understand that, he's trying to calm Azita and her horse, but he's like physically shaking.
Oh yeah.
So he got scared too.
It's quite the adrenaline.
Oh yeah, he was
kick,
terrified.
Right? Even if you're into it, like something like skydiving is still a really heavy adrenaline kick, unless of course you're a psychopath, like let's say unnamed ex-girlfriends, and you literally don't experience fear from falling out of the sky. That's a crazy thing. But the rest of you, normal people, yeah, you're shaking. Your adrenaline's kicking. You're either like stoked, like woo, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, or you're just kind of like, oh, okay, let's never do that again.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But your adrenaline's
I mean,
lush in your system.
I mean, it's pretty apparent Zeta did not enjoy a second of that.
No. But we were
Go
able to
figure,
calm
the
you, and our
dragon.
horse is down, so we're fine.
Right, but go figure,
What?
a dragon's afraid to go in the sky.
Right.
You know, wait.
Wait.
It's fine.
Guys, how did Jerk feel about it? And then how did Pubert feel about it? Let's determine it for them before they come back.
Jerk is
I think
asking if
Jerk
he has
really
a new
liked
weapon.
it.
Give me a con save and a cha save for each physical.
For each one?
Yeah.
Jerk is in the chat asking if he got that. I have a new weapon. Sounds boss, but I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I
Yeah,
shared
yeah.
a meme that
Oh,
it's like that
oh,
room
okay, I
thing.
see it.
Oh yeah. But
That's
I
what he's
think
talking
Jerk personally would kind of like the fall. It's kind of fucking weird with that.
It's like a thrill for him.
Yeah.
You said con save, Godwald?
Con save and charisma save.
Alright, there's Jerk's con save. So I think I think Novak may have been right about him enjoying the thrill.
Yeah.
His charisma save
Oh.
is a 14. I actually think he is
Those both
Plus.
pass.
proficiency. No,
It's
it's
pretty
plus,
high.
yeah, plus 2. So he 16's it. And then con save from Pubert. It's a 4
I don't think
plus
Pubert
something.
enjoys it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like he was
Suffer.
very into it. It would be a plus 2.
He's the
I feel like-
heaviest armor of us all.
Right? Yeah, so he maybe went a little farther faster. But his charisma save would be 16. So maybe you guys didn't notice exactly how afraid he was. And he's like,
You
"Well,
can
yeah,
hear the shaking if you get close.
Yeah, keep it-
That was
keep it
that
on
was
the
a lot of
inside.
fun. That was a lot of fun. That I really enjoyed that.
I feel
Mhm.
like Jerk
Keep it on
is
the
as
inside.
excited as Pip was.
Oh, like Carp, where Carp's just like,
Oh,
an
yeah.
adventure. And he's like, oh my god, you guys, we just fell 1,000 feet to our not deaths. That was freaking incredible, and he's really stoked about it. He seems to actually
I feel like Jerk's a
particularly
really
enjoyed
like
it.
forefront of the group character as a tiefling, and I'm like, as Novak as a back of the group tiefling. It's just we're different tieflings.
He does seem to be the only one of you that really
Ow.
like enjoyed that in any way. Everyone
Yeah.
else is just like, not
Like this is
not
fucking
again.
stupid. No.
Let's not do that. Let's just ride on the road. Like, let's just take the trails. But yeah, so we can either end here tonight. We're on the eastern outskirts of Tribor, or you guys can press onward into town. Either way, I need to take a quick bio break.
I think I'm pretty good to stop here.
Yeah.
I think we're good to stop here for.
I feel like this is a good cliffhanger to pick up on.
Okay.
Like, hey, you guys didn't die from falling out of the sky.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations! Now you're in the
very
town.
impressive
What do
to
you
Novak.
do?
Really, like, thank you, Jared, for not killing Novak.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.
The stairs
mean-
were
Not
dangerous.
Novak.
Like, climbing the stairs was one of those like dangerous things, right? Like, because there's
I
a
didn't realize how
railing, but
dangerous
it's
they were. Like, I have no weight to me, and I have no things to protect me going upstairs with gust of wind like that.
Yeah.
So
See,
yeah, thank goodness for
with
being on your
this-
horses, because even with riding
Well-
a horse, you guys were almost like acting like a sail because of the rolls, like gust of wind, and you're just big, catching
I
a
thought
bunch of the
about
wind.
getting off the horse and putting the horses in the front of the procession and just like tying us up to the horses, and they're just gonna pull us up, stairway.
I would have probably had you do like separate rolls then. Like if you were like tied to the horse and the horse can do a strength roll and you could do a strength roll.
Yeah.
But it should have, even with advantage on it, if you were riding the horse, should have been using the horse's strength for like how well it stays upright. And the horses are pretty strong, so that should have helped there. So a little,
I know the
little
horses are
fudge
stronger
on
than
my part, but
yeah. It was
I
an
mean-
idea. I didn't do it. It's fine.
Once I heard it was only 10d6 damage falling out, I was like, oh, Azita got this. Let her fall face first. Because she's a tank like that. Just rage on the
well,
way
it's
down.
It's every 10 feet is a d6.
Oh, so 1,000.
So 1,000 would be 100 d6.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not playing that
that's
game.
true. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
We're not
Okay.
playing that game.
Yeah,
Fully wrong.
no, it would be instant death if you fell off and died.
There's no way.
Rage mode, see
300
what
feet
happens.
Up, it would have only been 30 d6. You could potentially
So-
survive that.
If you rolled a 1 on all of them, I would have 3 hit points left.
If you rolled a 1 on all that,
That's what I'm
I would.
saying. You could potentially survive that.
It's possible.
I mean, I got 50 hit points. I would have had enough time to use my reaction to rage, take half damage.
I was going to conjure a bunch of giant owls to try
It is
to.
bludgeoning, so
Yeah, it would be bludgeoning. So rage it out, take half damage, stand up, brush myself off.
Does anybody live
Yeah.
through that 300-foot fall?
No. I
It
would've
would have
died.
met my HP. Would have met my HP.
I would
Oh.
have died.
You're
I would have
unconscious.
died.
You're just unconscious in the ground, dying.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
I'm dying.
I would have died
I'm dying.
3 times over.
I would have attempted prayer.
You're right. Like, dear,
Like, please
dear
preserve-
Lord
please preserve
Bahamut, please save
my
my
life.
life. I would.
Okay.
Me
So I
and
have
I-
one question. I have
Yeah.
one question about this. Is stream's already over, right? Are we
Oh,
done?
here. Let me say good night, internet.
Night, internet.
Good night,
next time.
Internet.